from the Lodge Mahal in beautiful Round Rock, Texas. Welcome to Poker Night at the Lodge, a special edition. And my name is Slick Rick, along with my partner and crime each week, Skull Mike. And we've got a special guest in the booth from Poker Unicorns, Jacob Lively. Jacob, welcome to Poker Night at the Lodge. We're going to have some fun today.
Yeah. I'm just building an interview Max's.
So sound stream up here and over there. You want to see if you were bluffed 30 minutes ago, feel free.
What's happening is you're having to build out your own platform, which is basically, or you just leverage us and don't have to build your platform, and you focus on more about your issuance and your investors. And we do cross syndication as well.
So you do private funds.
Absolutely.
Yes, we have a lot of overlap there. But
as long as legal under securities law, and we have keyless wallets, so we don't require want to tokenize.
it's not ideal.
Keep it a digital asset. There's no reason to. The SEC doesn't recognize public blockchains. We do write to them, but it's mostly for legal reasons or audit reasons that outside of the SEC.
We're going to go. I'm going to get these guys up here.
Trying to do the bounce again. The link I sent you.
Frank, I'm going to be here for 3 hours. It looks like limbering up and stuff.
I saw that. Yeah, Roger said that. I don't know who they are, but I've been connected to them as to run a validated.
But that's not even ready.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there are any other bridges that I knew that the.
Oh yeah, no,
Sensors.
yeah, you're actually not. So Raise is now 30.
Hey, that was good to see you. I wish I could have seen you in Puerto Rico.
3 players.
It was great.
I always get like 80.
All right, I think we got the audio a little bit better here. Slick Rick, it sounds much better. Slick Rick here with Skull Mike. Let us know how that sounds a little bit better. Just getting started here in the first hand anyways. And welcome again. We've got Skull Mike in the house and also Jacob Lively from Poker Unicorns. And after this hand, we're going to talk a little bit about Poker Unicorns, but let's get right to it as Corey raises it up to 75 with 8-6 in the big blind. We're playing 5-10 here.
And Rick, you're going to want to keep a close eye on any hand that Quinn is involved in. He's an absolute maniac. I'm sure we'll see some crazy pre-flop all-ins from him. He likes to push people around with very marginal hands. So he's a very fun player to watch.
Mad Benjamin says the audio is much better. Thank you for fantastic. We're glad. We tried to get a little bit more table talk today, but we're still working on that. And Quinn is going to lay it down. So here's what we're doing, folks. We've never done a stream on a Sunday afternoon. A group named Poker Unicorns approached us. They said, hey, we've got a group of businessmen, and there you see the Lodge cam, what's going on today at the Lodge. They're a group of, a networking group that brings business leaders together. And better than I explain it, Jacob, you tell us about what Poker Unicorns is all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So my organization, essentially, we host all kinds of events all over the country and in other countries. We actually just got back from a huge game that we threw in Puerto Rico where we had over $1 million in cash buy-ins. And what we do is we host these high stakes cash games and invite people that are sort of the highest caliber, top of their industry in technology. So we're talking tech founders, software as a service founders, people involved in cryptocurrency, investors, traders, so on and so forth. And what our events serve as is an opportunity for these guys to come together, have an amazing time, make new professional and personal relationships, and play high stakes poker and just throw money around, which, as I'm sure we'll see today, they absolutely love to do.
Absolutely, and we've got 2 sponsors today, AdamandEve.com and Ground News, and we'll tell you more about them as we go through the program. We're going to have a couple of ads that we'll play, but we want to thank AdamandEve.com and Ground News for being a sponsor of the show tonight. Looks like we've got seat 2, Alex, making it 100. Quinn comes along with ace-queen.
These guys both hitting top pair is very bad news for Alex unless he hits that 5 from heaven. I don't think he's getting away from this one. I'm sure Quinn is going to make him pay for it.
And now with the diamond draw added for Quinn, says, I'm going to raise it on up.
300 to go here, putting Alex in a tough spot with 685 behind. Finally got my headset working. What's going on, everybody? Nice to have Jacob here.
Pleasure's all mine.
And we will go into the archives today for a joke of the day. We won't call it joke of the night. We'll do that in about an hour. 10 on the river. Alex continues his story. All in from Quinn.
Yep, there it is. And let's see, do we have a call from Alex? I have to imagine we do. I'm missing the diamond draw there. Yep, there it is.
Thanks for the call. Going to be out kicked and stacked in one of our first couple hands is Alex, but that's not going to stop him from rebuying.
There we go. And as we push the pot to Quinn, let's go ahead and listen to one of our sponsors. Here's the ad from adamandeve.com. adamandeve.com. Use code POKER at checkout for 50% off one item, plus free shipping in the U.S. and Canada. Plus special bonus gift, 6 free video-on-demand movies with purchase. Some exclusions apply. So thank you, adamandeve.com. Hold on one second.
Didn't miss out on any of the action here, getting the chip stacks accurate. So again, all these gentlemen, they don't play poker on a daily basis here. They are busy out there in the working world, and they have done quite well for themselves here.
Yeah, definitely don't feel too bad for Alex. Alex is the CTO of a company called Velvet. What Velvet's investment marketplace does is they allow retail investors to easily browse, evaluate, and invest in private equity, real estate, venture capital, and hedge funds. So they're kind of opening accessibility to those marketplaces without the level of access that's previously required. Normally, if you want to make those kinds of investments, you have to know people personally. Fun fact about them, actually, Velvet's founders are the youngest people to have ever been granted a broker-dealer license. If I'm not mistaken, Alex himself is only 22.
Oh, my God. Are you serious?
Yep. So don't feel too bad for him. I'm sure he'll be rebuying. And,
oh, my goodness.
Not even an ounce of pain for him. Maybe a little bit of pain, just getting owned by Quinn there on hand number
Bragging
2.
rights.
Yeah,
oh my
precisely.
Goodness. 22 years old, living the dream here. There you see the cumulative winnings. Quinn up 800 early. Alex down at the bottom throwing the party. Not quite party for 4 at a downtown Austin restaurant, but getting there.
Sounds like a sandwich.
That's a little sandwich. There you see everybody.
Sandwich.
But we're having fun today on a Sunday. We'll go for 3 hours. Give us a like, give us a subscribe if you can. We weren't on last night for the first time in a long time, not on a Saturday night, but you know what? It's always good to switch things up a little bit. We'll have the joke of the night, like I said, probably an hour into the program, and Frank is ready to deal us another hand.
Joke of the what?
Joke of the day. Joke of the day. Midnight, and it's going to be an oldie, but it's a goodie.
All old ones that get repeated are certified ones on the recount, right?
Yes, they're guaranteed a 1.
Okay.
1 if you like it, 2 if you don't. Everyone knows the rules.
Big pressure.
Joe, who played on the live stream just a week or so ago, if you remember the Fred Flintstone episode, he was on that stream and played a 7-deuce hand to the delight of many fans.
Yes, got a little too excited, though, and exposed his 7-high too early and did not get that bonus.
Yeah, that was Eli, used casino awareness. Let's just put it that way. 4 ways to a flop. Frank in the box will give us the flop. 6-9 deuce, couple of diamonds, so king of diamonds for Nathan, a straight draw for Joe, a pair of 9s for Corey, so something. Corey's going nowhere with top pair.
Nathan making a very tight lay down there.
Corey, an experienced player before his interactions with Vertalo, he was playing poker quite a bit, so he's a one to look out for. He's experienced. He bought in for the most, 4,500, so he might be a little bit rusty, but just like riding a bike here at the poker table, so I'm anticipating some big stacks coming from the 8 seats.
So, Jacob, recently y'all had a huge event in the Virgin Islands?
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico.
Pretty close.
Yep.
And how many events do you put on each year?
We try to do a big game. We call them our big game series. If you'd like to learn more about them, you're welcome to visit our site at www.pokerunicorns.com to learn about upcoming events. But we try to put on a game of that size about once a month. We're actually going back to Puerto Rico in mid-December for Blockchain Week there, and we're anticipating something even bigger there. I think we're going to try to host a 1 Bitcoin buy-in tournament. We're expecting 20 to 30 players, so you're talking about a couple million, and we'll probably do over $1 million guarantee for first place in that tournament. So
wow.
And these are, these guys are not professional poker players. If there's any pros listening and you want a very high EV tournament to play in, I won't say to come, but I won't say not to either.
Open to everybody if they can
open to the
afford
public.
the buy-in.
It's precisely. Yes.
As long as they have a Bitcoin.
Yeah, as long as they have 1 Bitcoin. Although that is an increasingly large ask.
Yes, exactly.
Big flop here.
Ace, king, queen. Pair of aces for Joe. Pair of queens for Corey. Joe is going to make it 50. Corey, discipline laydown with second pair.
What's the latest with that?
On it's 50.
I really want to wait for
Alex folds. Over to Quinn. He'll fold. And so tell us a little bit about Zach in the 4th seat.
Yeah, absolutely. So Zach is actually my business partner here on Poker Unicorns. Most of his time is spent managing his fund. He is the managing partner at Unbounded Capital, which is a blockchain investment firm built by technical founders like Zach that sort of understand the entrepreneurial journey. A lot of former poker pros at that firm. So they don't understand how to analyze risk. They bring that to the table. They understand that investing, especially early stage investing, is not a passive activity. And they invest primarily in companies building new software and applications on the BSV blockchain. Zach himself is a former poker pro. He's done a lot of poker coaching. He's very likely the strongest player at the table. Very versatile player. You'll see him make a lot of tight laydowns, and you'll see him make some very aggressive moves, pick his spots. He's a very entertaining player to watch.
Interesting.
Sure.
Interesting.
Where did Zach grow up?
I believe he is from the Bay Area, but I know he spent a lot of time in New York as well.
Okay.
But he does live here in Austin, as do I these days. Although we are traveling frequently, our home base is here.
This is just an afternoon stream. We will have a stream tomorrow night and Wednesday night, as usual. We'll get to our normal schedule starting back tomorrow. Here's the flop from Frank. Ace, 8, deuce, Skittles.
Everybody with similar holdings. Nobody really connects with that board. Tomorrow's game is going to be a round-and-round game, a little 1-2-5 PLO and 2-5 Hold'em. Lineup's pretty solid for that one, so you're going to want to tune in tomorrow night at 8 Central for our regular scheduled program.
Corey's going to lay it down. And after this hand, we're going to tell you a little bit about our other sponsor today. And after this hand, Jack of diamonds. So there you go. Joe gets there, but Quinn is the one going to be betting. He bets 100. Joe says, I'll throw 100 in there. And he's going to win the pot with his Jackson 8. So let me tell you a little bit about Ground News. We're going to pause and go here. Ground News has an innovative approach to bursting your filter bubble. The platform simply looks at each individual news story via an algorithm and then lets you know what type of outlets are mostly covering that specific event. It basically tells you if a particular news story is being widely covered or if it's just a big topic of conversation between the news outlets within your ideological bubble. Ground News is a first-of-its-kind app that lets you compare over 50,000 news sources. But it's not just a news aggregator. It's a tool with a ton of easy-to-use features to help you become more confident that you're getting the full picture. If you're looking for a better way to consume news, check out Ground News by visiting ground.news/unicorn to download the free app. Diversify your news intake today. thank you to Ground News for being one of our 2 partners tonight. Back to the action.
Looks like a pretty interesting app there. I'm going to check that out myself.
Yeah, I've been a long-time user, huge fan of Ground News. If you are the type of person that's interested in opening your horizons and maybe understanding, sort of what your political leanings are and how the news you consume reinforces that, and kind of want to self-inspect, Ground News is an amazing place to do that.
Interesting idea.
Yeah, increasingly necessary in today's media landscape, for sure.
Had a little black screen there, but we're back. Cumulative winnings. Quinn up 7-10. Alex down, losing 975 at this point. 114 in the live chat. We're going to continue to grow. Nick from Yuma says he thought it was a Viffer in seat 8. No, that's just Corey. The frosted tips gave it away.
Don't know Corey too well personally, but I would be somewhat offended by that one.
He's a grown-ass man. He can handle it.
Yes, he is.
Alex looks like he's got a nice little tan going on. I haven't seen the sun in about 37 weeks.
He was there at the Puerto Rico game, so we hit the beach. We got some sun together.
Checks out. There you go.
7-4-4. Couple clubs. Quinn with the club draw.
Still waiting at my mailbox for the 1 million or Bitcoin entry invite. So
Hey, you're more than welcome.
there you go. Got it. That's how you do it, folks. You got to keep pushing. 7-4-4.
2 pair for Corey and a flush draw for Quinn. Both at 39% to win this hand. Here's a little raise. A little min click from Quinn.
Now, I would not be surprised to see Charles kind of pick a spot here based on the action that's occurring right now. I think he knows he very likely doesn't have the best of it, but I think he also recognizes that nobody else really caught a piece of this either.
I don't know. Super multi-way.
Yeah.
Don't love the raise here on the button. $75 representing a 4. Very unlikely, but nobody seems too interested in continuing. Nobody really had a piece at all, so good on Quinn with the flush draw, showing the aggression. But if anyone was going to try and mix and match with that, I would figure maybe more so in the blind, small blind, big blind, perhaps trying to. We're the only ones who could credibly really have a 4, maybe late position 5-4 suited ace-4, but nobody had nothing, and the flush draw takes it down.
Tell us more about the 6th seed, Jacob. Nathan Latka.
Nathan, know him very well personally. Been to his house a few times. He actually just had an event here last week. Nathan's an awesome guy. He is the founder and CEO of a company called FounderPath. And FounderPath allows software as a service companies to convert monthly recurring revenue to immediate cash in hand, facilitating capital expenditure and growth without those companies having to sacrifice equity or board seats. Typically what you see in early stage investments, especially with software as a service companies, is these companies will be forced to give up a percentage of ownership in their company in order to acquire capital. Nathan sort of allows companies to circumvent that by converting monthly recurring revenue that they already have into upfront cash.
Wow.
Yep, and he also has a very popular podcast called SaaS Interviews. I think they get something like 30,000 downloads per episode. And he also publishes a monthly magazine with a comprehensive index of the best performing SaaS companies in the space. He is definitely one of the foremost experts on software as a service. And happens to be a great guy and a fun poker player to play with as well.
And thank you for telling us what SaaS was. SaaS could mean many different things. You just told us. Software as a service. 974. Couple clubs out there on the flop. Joe with a straight draw.
Similar flop to last time.
Quinn pretty dangerous with just about any ace here.
Quinn likes to min click.
Yes.
He likes to min raise. We've seen that a couple times.
With not much.
No, yeah, you will continue to see it for the rest of the stream, I'm sure. He is, like I mentioned earlier, very loose cannon. More than happy to get in there with very little. You know, Queen 4 offsuit is a premium for Quinn.
Another 4, so Alex has 5 outs. A 6 or a queen. One of the 6s is already out, so just got 5 outs.
Scotland
Alex
in the
checks.
house.
Hello, Scotland.
No, not Scotland. Somebody from Scotland.
Oh.
Knee high.
I thought you said Scotland. 3 of clubs.
I did say Scotland.
I know. When you say that, I just think of one guy.
Roger.
Flush draw comes in here. It's got to be on Alex's mind.
Ace high versus queen high, and ace high is good here. 165 in the middle.
And it sounds like they're negotiating a gentlemanly check, and something tells me Quinn is not going to honor that. Huh?
Check. Ace high takes it.
Jason Elkins says, "Is a seat available?" Hey, you never know.
I said negative. Private stream.
Private stream. There you go. On to the next hand. So we've talked about a couple of the players. I think the one seat. Let's talk about the one seat.
Alex.
Charles?
Charles.
Yeah,
Charles.
absolutely. Charles is a very close personal friend of mine. He and I have been gaming together for a very long time, although poker is a relatively new pursuit for us. He's a very technical player, very well studied, but I think kind of tends to get in his own head a little bit. You'll probably see him overfold, but he's also quite good at picking his spots. So very interesting player to watch. He is the sales director at a software as a service company called Grayscale, which is a feature-rich candidate engagement tool designed for hiring teams. So if you, anybody listening out there, owns a company or works for a company that needs to maximize candidate engagement in order to meet hiring needs, and you need to text, send bulk messages, and generally automate communication all within your ATS, Grayscale is the go-to solution. They're an awesome company. They actually just exceeded the $1 million ARR mark inside of 2 years, which is virtually unheard of for software startups. They've got an amazing team and an amazing product over there, and Charles himself is a very talented individual. So.
And as Nick from Yuma says, he's Fader Holtz look-alike. He's a doppelganger.
I can see it. I can absolutely see it.
So Alex Quinn is just picking on Alex.
I miss watching Fader Holtz. Semi-retired.
There's the call from Alex. Drawing very thin here, looking for a jack.
It's one of his best holdings pre, though.
There's
now
a queen.
In bad shape.
No.
Queen for Quinn, but looking for a 10 ball for Alex. Or a king. I'm sorry, a king is what he's looking for, and only 2 remaining. Again with the min click for Quinn.
I feel like I've watched this already. Next time we'll just invite the 2 and the 3 seat for a heads-up battle.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's looking like Quinn might get the better of him unless he I got a call.
If he called earlier with Queen High, he's definitely calling here with a dream of Broadway.
Yeah. How about a red king here?
Yeah, one time. Let's go, Alex.
Ace. That's going to cause some pain.
It. Nobody with a heart. 3 hearts out there. 375 in the middle, and he rips it all you can eat here, and Quinn thinking about it, but I don't think Quinn lays it down.
This is not good at all.
He looks at his chip stack and says, let's run it.
What's 215 for a man like this? Makes the call, and he's ahead.
Looking for a king.
Yeah, dead to anything but a king. Yeah.
It's funny, he looked at his chips. He was hemming and hawing, then he saw his chips and said, oh, what the heck?
Yeah.
And that's not going to be a king. So Quinn gets the better of Alex again. And Alex is going, what is going on here? Checks, please. Table 11.
Nick from Yuma even has that audio high on the ads running like a true chat pro. Remember we ran that for Tallow
Yes.
earlier, and we said free lunches.
Free lunches.
Nick wants to know what the free lunches are.
He doesn't miss anything. That's why he's the mayor of
He
Chatsville.
says, are they hoodies, sandwiches? Well, what do you got here?
Love it.
It's a 2:45 here on a Sunday. I'm starting to get a little bit hungry, so easy on the food chat. Alex having a rough go. Says, why did you put me next to Quinn? I hate Quinn.
And Quinn just stacking chips.
Stacking chips to the ceiling.
There's
here.
you see your cumulative winnings. Quinn way up top. You don't see
Alex he'll be back here, but he's reloading.
He's reloading.
Okay, I'm reloaded.
He'll reload, and he's now officially throwing a party of 6 at a downtown steak house. Exactly. Well, you know Quinn is.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get dinner and drinks right after this, and we'll make sure Quinn pays his dues.
This is
not over yet. The afternoon is young.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything can happen here at the poker table, table 11.
Under the lights. There you go, Jacob. That's not many people get to hear under the lights, right in the bunker.
Or see the point.
Very few people.
I feel so alive.
10-10-4 is the flop. 2 pair for Charles.
All right, Charles finally hitting a piece of this. Let's see what he does. Likely to see a fold from Quinn. Or, you know, just calling with 8-7 off. Yeah, why not, I guess.
So I think we've gone around the table for the guests of honor, and we've talked a little bit about Poker Unicorns. The other 2 players at the table we invited, both Joe and Corey, in seats 7 and 8. There's a bet from Charles. Makes it 60. Quinn with squadouche.
Quinn does not like to fold here. That's what we're learning early.
Very sticky.
The fact that he's legitimately considering this.
Yeah, I'd imagine Alex would have been in this spot too if he had his chips at the table.
I said 10s and 4s. I meant a boat. Charles hit the boat on the turn.
Can we call him Fedor?
Fedor?
I don't think he'll be hurt by that.
We'll call him Charles. Remember that when they had the Helmuth? When Helmuth was at the table with Fedor and he was pronouncing his name wrong?
Fedor?
Yeah, it's Fedor.
There's the lodge cam. A lot going on today. Tons of cash tables, mainly to the left. The Sunday afternoon tournament, Freeze Out, is on your right there. That's in the front half of the room. We call this Slick's room, the front half, the good half. The back half, Skull's Dungeon, and that's where the live stream table's at.
A little tension in
Yeah, that was a little. That's a new one you slipped under the rug there.
Well, it's happy. It's happy up there.
You called it the good part. What's
it's
bad?
all good.
What's the trouble here in the back of the room? I know it's dark.
You said it was cold and no heart. Sad, a desolate
People
place.
get stacked.
Why are mom and dad fighting?
Yeah.
Oh, this is tame, Jacob.
Yeah.
We're keeping it tame for this
He
broadcast.
just usually says Slick's Dungeon. He doesn't. Skull's Dungeon doesn't usually throw extra jabs at me like that. So it's a little. I'm not going to get it past me, but I'm just not going to let it slide.
$10 is the bet coming around. I think most of these folks would put $10 in on any hand.
$10 are the blinds there, Ricky. So just calling the blinds.
Just call. There we go. Here comes the flop. 10 King 5 Skittles. Nobody hits any part of that.
Quite shocking four-way to a flop. Nobody with much. Jack now Quinn gets a piece. You know he's going nowhere if he has a pair. He'll probably fire out a bet and does so.
I've looked at before just to see what the fuck they were doing.
That's almost as bad as the BSG poker.
Knee-high 80, it's 2:46 Central Time, and we'll go from about 2 to 5 Central Time today. So we've got another 2 hours and 15 minutes of fun, and then we'll be back tomorrow night for our regular stream on Monday night, then also Wednesday and Saturday. And Saturday stream, folks, get ready, buckle your seatbelt. It's going to be a 25-50 slugfest, and the game, Mikey tells me, is already filled with some incredible action players.
Yep, that game is filled for next Saturday. 10K minimum buy-in. And it's going to be a good one, so you're not going to want to miss that for sure. A bunch of familiar faces, of course, with some rookies, too. Always a fresh one or two that want to take their shot on the big game, and that's the same instance for the game next week.
So here we are on a Sunday matinee Poker Unicorns joint production with Poker Night at the Lodge, and we hope this will become a monthly or maybe every other month type deal. Hopefully we can do a good enough job that Poker Unicorns wants to come back, but Joe is going to make the raise to 140.
I can tell you right now, we're having a great time so far.
Joe, here we go.
All right, we've got the Quiggities.
There you go. The soundboard is working. Joe with the ladies makes it 140. Quinn. Ace 8 suited.
Yeah, I was
Ooh,
say,
he's going to raise it up.
Considering a raise there. Zach, I don't think, has played a single hand yet. Definitely uncharacteristically tight at this point.
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive, but
Joe.
still a relatively min-click.
Joe's
Skull?
going nowhere. Joe's might even elect here to fire in the 5-bet, get it in. Joe, an aggressive man himself, asking for a count of Quinn's stack.
Now, if I'm in Joe's seat here, I'm definitely considering an all-in, having plenty of prior experience playing with Quinn. Looks like he just opts for the flat call, though.
Yeah, so we're going to take a flop here. 6 high, 6-4, 3, 2 clubs.
Knee high, we hope you make it over here across the pond, too. Love to have you. There's an all-in situation for Joe.
Don't love that bet there by Joe. It's a little bit too much. You want to keep Quinn in.
I was just about to ask how you'd play that. It seemed a little premature.
Yeah, too much indeed. I would have gone somewhere along the lines of about half pot to 75%, 3/4. I know it is a very connected board with 2 clubs, a 5 open-ended, so I probably would have sized up somewhere along the lines of about 475, but just wants to shut it down right here, and Quinn cannot continue with ace-8 of hearts.
Shows the ladies. There's your cumulative winnings. Alex down 1,500. Alex got to get in gear. We're still early. One
Scott,
hand can bring it all back.
Scott, if you're not watching, liking 510, we have 25.50, plenty of big stakes, so don't worry about that. This game not that small, 510, lots of money on the table, and it will only grow as the afternoon rolls on.
And if we can get our regulars from Puerto Rico and San Francisco and New York at one of these games, I think we could easily see a 5,100 in the future.
Yeah.
That would be awesome. Didn't you say that you had Jamie Gold play one time with you?
He was at our New York event, yes. And that was, hopefully we'll be able to get him on the stream. That would be phenomenal.
That would be fun.
He tends to keep to himself these days, staying mostly in New York, but phenomenal guy to play with and just a real salt of the earth. He's been nothing but extraordinarily helpful for us.
Excellent.
Used to watch Jamie on the high stakes poker scene after that bracelet win.
Yeah.
He's a very entertaining player to watch. I'm sure he'd be a joy to have on the stream. I'm talking about one of the most dominant WSOP main event runs in the history of the event, for sure.
We want to wish everybody out there at the World Series good luck. We have a lot of friends out there doing great things.
And a reminder, we'll be out there November 6th, Saturday. The party is filled.
Yes.
But you never know who's going to cancel last minute and who's going to show up last minute. So if you're still interested in joining, you know the best way to reach out to Rick and I via Instagram. So let us know if you're going to be out there.
7-4-3, couple of clubs. We do have a pair of 7s and a straight draw for Zach.
4s for Alex, and he's got a piece. Don't think he likes folding whenever he has a piece from what I've seen, but now it's
There's
a
Zach.
raise.
Zach doing his best John Travolta with the white coat on.
White coat's pretty sharp right there. I'm not going to lie. If you can rock a white coat like that.
I
Rick?
couldn't.
No. I'm glad you said no.
Fat guys don't wear white. You know that.
You said it, not me.
Just telling you. Not a good look.
Isn't that like after Labor Day? Or?
No, white
Whatever.
and bigger guys, darker color, slimming. There's a 6 of clubs.
Zach upgrading 2 pair. Quinn probably still thinks his ace high is good here. Let's see if he decides to raise or just.
I think you got to do this. This is a very easy fold.
Check, check.
Zach does not fire out a bet.
There you go.
These 2 players have a lot of history, and I have personally seen Zach get sucked out by Quinn on the river many a time. I'm sure that 4 is top of mind for him right now. Alex probably kicking himself for folding what is now trips.
Zach goes for River Valley, goes for 200. Quinn cannot continue here with ace high.
Be surprised.
I fire in a hefty raise. His only chance of winning this pot, calling not. Does make the call. Believed in his ace high, just like Jacob said he would.
There you go, Jacob. You know the players. You saw it get paid off. There you go. Zach takes down, I believe that's Zach's, maybe his first pot of the day.
It's okay to fold sometimes. You know this, right?
You might want to tell Quinn personally. We've tried. But, you know, we like the action sometimes. I think Zach, myself, and Charles have made a lot of money off of playing these games. So
Quinn lives locally?
Yes, he is based in Austin, although he himself does a lot of traveling. He is the head of sales for a company called Shift Network. Very interesting KYC solution that's know your customer or know your client.
There you go.
They build out security solutions for basically sort of any kind of interface where you as a user have to provide personal information to, let's say, a service like a securities exchange. Shift enables you to do that trustlessly, so you can provide your information to the exchange without them ever holding that data on their end. Reduces liability on their part. Possibility of a data breach goes to zero there, and protects your privacy, which is very increasingly important in any kind of financial application today.
So many interesting companies right here at this table.
Yes, definitely.
It's crazy. I mean, some applications that I wouldn't even have thought of, and here we are. Just learn something new every day.
A lot of these guys are really are at the cutting edge of their fields and doing some very interesting stuff. The financial world is, with the advent of cryptocurrency in the last 10 years, the landscape is changing quite rapidly and quite dramatically, and there are a lot of companies that simply could not have existed 10 years ago doing revolutionary things with this new blockchain technology, and these guys are a big part of it.
Ace, Queen, Jack, couple of diamonds. Straight draw for Zach, pair of jacks for Joe, and pair of fours for Quinn. But goes to check around. Deuce of hearts. Joe checks. Joe can't think he's good, but he is.
One of these gentlemen with an ace or a queen.
Did we go just fold without a bet? That's okay. You can do that. Check all around. He just said there's nothing that could come that could get me there. Small bet, $15 from Zach.
Let's see. Joe
calls
his best here. 15, very small.
Uh-oh. Quinn says, my pair of fours, I got some showdown value.
Senses some weakness, but Joe says, get that weak sauce out of here. Fours no good, and the jacks will take it down.
And Joe says, thank you for the invite, Skull Mike. I just won that pot. I'm having fun.
Yeah, I'm sure anybody at this table who's not necessarily familiar with these guys is quickly picking up on Quinn and Alex's calling tendencies, and probably quite happy to realize some of that EV coming in to play with these fellas.
Nick from Yuma wants to ask you, Jacob, when are you going to set up a Bitcoin ATM in the lodge?
If we would prefer one, very much so.
Hey, if you need a Bitcoin ATM, I think the lodge probably should just set up a wallet. And crypto buy-ins, we personally do a lot of crypto buy-ins at our event. We find it's the applications in cryptocurrency for poker are tremendous. Instant remission of funds. Don't have to worry about sending a $50,000, $100,000 wire and getting it flagged. Lots of great things going on with crypto and poker, and we're really actually exploring some interesting technology to integrate it with our games even more deeply.
If we're going to be running $1 million tournaments in Puerto Rico, it seems like the way.
Yep, and a lot of the money that's concentrated in that expat community in Puerto Rico is in cryptocurrency and crypto development. So a lot of people are already familiar with the tech, and if we can make it easy for those guys to buy in and introduce some money into the poker ecosystem, why not?
Quinn raising it up here to 35, snap call for Joe.
So to get a trump hand, I need a 4 at 5. Yes, you would.
Corey has already folded action on Alex. He makes the call, three-way to a flop, king, queen, 6.
Win with the Gretzkys.
It's funny, these very active games so far, but nobody really smashing these flops.
Seti Maggette for Quinn.
But on the turn is just what Quinn needs here, and his image right now is somewhat of a wild man, so he's hoping and praying somebody has a piece of this, but nobody does, except he finds his partner here, Alex, with the straight draw.
Ace on the river.
Not going to do it. Let's see if Alex, I'm sure he can get away from this.
Let's hope so. Look at counting his fingers for a straight, but does not have one. It's 10 high and fires out $50.
Yeah. Okay. Well, a relatively small price to pay. I'm
What?
sure Quinn's going to re-raise here, and Alex will know he's
All
absolutely
in.
not even
And
close
he's
to
laughing, patting him on his shoulder and says, "Don't call me. Stay in the game." He said, "Here's your chance."
It's 10 high, Alex. This is for all your chips 10
Oh,
high.
thank goodness. I'd hate to see Alex bust again. I have to go solicit some funds for him.
Let's pause this as we go to the second hour of the show, and let's hear from our sponsor, Adam and Eve. AdamandEve.com. Use code POKER at checkout for 50% off one item, plus free shipping in the U.S. and Canada. Plus special bonus gift, 6 free video-on-demand movies with purchase. Some exclusions apply. There we go. We want to thank both of our sponsors, Adam and Eve and Ground News. We'll tell you more about Ground News in about 10 minutes. And Joke of the Night coming up in about 15 minutes. Joke of the Day. I got to get used to that. Never had a Joke of the Day.
Well, it depends right now. Some people are tuning in, like Wimpy and other people from the Netherlands. We know we're big in Australia and the Philippines, growing in Brazil. You never know what time zone people are tuning in, Rick. So it might apply to some. So we'll let you slide on that.
Poker has always struck me as something of an international pastime. It's very cool that you guys get viewers from around the world.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
It is. We love it. We get not only views, but we get emails from people from Brazil, from the Netherlands, from the UK. It's really amazing. You know, we put this show together in March. We started live streaming, and or a little bit before, maybe the start of the year. And let me tell you, it's just been amazing how the world has come to this show. People from all over the world, not the whole world, obviously, but people from all over the world have. It's just one big family.
Nathan's been pretty quiet so far. Wakes up a big slick here. So he's going to raise it up to 35. It's called in 2 spots, Joe and Alex.
Second time Nathan's been dealt ace-king. He folded it after the flop on the first. Let's see if he catches something here and decides to push.
It's 5-10 knee high, and Fig Nuts says it's always Joke of the Night somewhere. Very good point. Very good point.
Just said that, Rick.
Did you just say that?
It's all right. It's all right.
I'm a little off my game right now. It's an afternoon.
No worries.
I can go snag one of those coffees off the player table.
You can also just slap him in the face. You're in close proximity.
I'll leave that to you guys.
That will wake him up real quick.
Jacob, we have beverages in our fine refrigerator in the bunker if you want any. It's up to you.
Got any water in there? Or
Don't have water. We
also have free sodas, and so you don't look like a soda guy, though.
Not a big soda guy, but those Diet Cokes are looking rather.
You can have one, definitely.
Phenomenal. Thank you. Appreciate the offer. You guys.
Hope all the gentlemen at the table know that we had free soda too. I told a few of them that fridge located by the ATM in the bathroom area is first come, first serve, and it's stocked.
Nathan's going to win this hand as long as he stays in.
Thank you, Ron, West, Daniel in the house, Sharon, of course, Linny, Fig Nuts. We all appreciate you guys tuning in on a Sunday, watching this 5-10 game with Poker Unicorns and friends.
And Nathan, somebody I've played a fair amount of poker with, very difficult kind of put your finger on. He's typically very conservative, doesn't get involved in a lot of big pots, but I don't think I've ever seen him walk away from the table with less than he started, even if it's a relatively marginal gain. Yeah, for sure.
There's your VPIP, Quinn.
Good
He's
Lord.
almost setting a record, 93% VPIP. Alex, 80%. Nathan at the bottom. This may be our highest low on a stream at this point in the stream. 26%, very respectable for Charles, Zach, and Nathan, but 93%, that's bordering on DQ land.
Or Lamborenzo, shout out to him.
Or Lamborenzo.
Of course, Poker for a living. Is he the one who has the belt, right?
You know, there's a debate going on.
Wow. Really, we might need to settle it in the heads-up battle between the Fish and DQ at a later date. Or in Vegas, perhaps.
There was a time deep into a stream that Lamborenzo did have it at 100% VPIP.
Just faded right underneath. What did he end at? 96, 97, something like that?
I mean, if you're going to do it for that long, you might as well just do it, you know?
That's what I'm saying.
Go for the record.
Thought I saw a raise firing here north. Yeah, there we go. 3-betting here. Ace Jack off is Zach.
Caught quite a few hands.
Charles makes the call here. Jack 10 suited.
Very interesting.
A lot of playability here post flop. And nobody likes folding in this game, so we're going to go 5-way to a flop.
Building companies. Not time for poker.
When you go out,
Action is on Zach. 973.
Checked all around. We'll go straight to the turn. 4 to a turn. Jack of clubs. 3 clubs out there. Jack for Zach, who vaults into the lead with a top pair, top kicker.
He's the one who started this party pre-flop, so he's going to be betting. Quinn with the ace of clubs, never going anywhere. Thought he checked there, so interesting there. I thought Quinn tapped the table as check, but we'll let the $50 play, and Zach's going to make him pay an additional $150 if he wants to see a river card. And I don't know. Jacob has nailed every move that Quinn's going to do. 100% not folding, but maybe he even fires in a raise with his ace of clubs. Who knows? We'll wait and see. But our man Charles connects with the jack as well, but outkicked to Zach. So he's in a tough spot.
Most definitely. I know the flush draw is going to be on Charles's mind here. He might think Zach already has it, or is at least representing it. He's probably, he's thinking out loud right now. He does this often, regardless of what game he's playing. I think Charles probably has a pretty good idea that he's beat here. Wouldn't be surprised to see him make the laydown, but
does have a
he's
straight draw.
Well,
Yeah. Makes the call for 200.
I'm not that confident. What is it, 200 total?
Don't love it with Charles making it. You could see the agony and pain in his face. So calls the 200, but still multiple opponents. Going to be hard for him to win this pot once we see a river card. And there's the nuts for Quinn. I think he's just going to rip it all in from what we've seen so far. He doesn't really go for value, just puts his foot on the gas and says, if you... Oh, little trap.
oh,
little
Zach does not
trap.
fall for it.
The problem with a check raise, folks, is the person behind you has to make a bet, or else it's not good.
Yeah, but you haven't seen Quinn slow down there, so... I thought Quinn was going to bet for sure, and I thought he was going to blast it.
He must be kicking himself.
But he'll take down 1,000 there. He's still our big winner tonight, up 1.4.
156 of you in the live chat. We appreciate every one of you. After this hand, we'll tell you one more time about ground news. Then we'll get to the joke of the night in a few minutes.
Joke of the day?
Yeah, joke of the day, joke of the night. It's joke. Somewhere out there, it's nighttime.
So that's what we're going with. So, joke of the night.
Joke of
forever.
The night. Joke of the night. It's always
for
joke
all.
Of the night.
Okay.
Yeah, I had with the nuts there, I thought.
Frank will give us another hand, and we'll get going. Having a good time on a Sunday afternoon matinee with poker unicorns and a bunch of business leaders. Having some fun here at the Lodge Mahal. Joe looks down at 9-10.
Plus, you know to call me.
Calls the 20. Corey with Jack 10 suited. Raises it on up.
But I don't think that's worth taking into
Jack 10 suited, one of my favorite hands to play. So much play to it post flop. Never feel too bad about making a call for any kind of reasonable three bet.
More nut straight possibilities than any other 2 cards. And it looks good.
It does look good. It's a very pretty hand.
So raise to 60.
I don't know how I feel about 3-betting in a game like this when nobody's folding.
Yep.
So, unless you really have a big premium, you might just want to kind of tread lightly or size up your 3 bets to potentially get rid of some of these players, but Charles here connects with the queen on a rainbow flop, checks it all the way around. These players perhaps respecting Corey. He's been pretty quiet this evening. He's got the largest buy-in, and he has probably the most poker experience next to perhaps Zach. So he's going to c-bet into a wide range of players, 155. Charles, the only player that should continue thinking it over, has all these people to act behind him. And just like our man Jacob said, Charles perhaps overthinking situations sometimes and perhaps a little bit confused on how he wants to proceed. 455 in the middle. But he's not going to be pushed around carving out calling chips, it looks like. 155 additional USD going into the middle here shortly.
Yeah, Charles is going to recognize here that he's not getting beat by much.
Raises it up, so good on Charles here for taking his time, realizing he's good. And he says new price looks to be 300.
But that's a smart raise.
Needs to be a little bit larger than 300, so a min click from Charles goes to 310. And Corey just, for a min click, might just elect to bink a 9. Implied odds might just peel 1. Corey knows he's no good here after that raise, but for just a min click, maybe the miracle 9 will come. We've seen 2 already have been folded, but
I think he's going to fold, but then he's reaching for chips.
He's going to peel 1.
Count it out.
Min click.
Definitely pot committed at this point.
9 and 9 only. He would prefer having at least a club on that board for some backdoor potential, but really drawing super thin. Corey knows this, but min click. Let's see what he does. Perhaps if these players were deeper, Corey would definitely peel off.
I knew he was
implied
folding.
odds, lays it down.
So let's tell you a little bit about Ground News one more time. Ground News has an innovative approach to bursting your filter bubble. The platform simply looks at each individual news story via an algorithm and then lets you know what type of outlets are mostly covering that specific event. It basically tells you if a particular news story is being widely covered or if it's just a big topic of conversation between the news outlets within your ideological bubble. Ground News is a first-of-its-kind app that lets you compare over 50,000 news sources. But it's not just a news aggregator. It's a tool with a ton of easy-to-use features to help you be more confident in getting the full picture. If you're looking for a better way to consume the news, check out Ground News by visiting ground.news/unicorn to download the free app. Diversify your news intake today. Thank you to our 2 sponsors today, Ground News, ground.news, and adamandeve.com. 2 diverse sponsors, I got to tell you, for
Definitely
Poker Unicorns.
Occupying different industry segments there for sure. And considering who gets the short end of the stick at the table today, I think one of these players might need some lube. So
yes,
AdamandEve.com promo code poker might help them out a little bit.
Yes, and one of our people in Chatsville said, "Are you sure the promo code isn't poke her?" But no, it's poker.
Poker, I barely know her.
Yikes! You probably have like an unlimited supply at your household, Rick.
Adam and Eve, I did hop on the website. It was an interesting website.
I'm sure you did.
First time was a couple years ago, right? You've been a frequent visitor, as you should. Get that merch.
So we've got both Ace-King suited and 7 Deuce offsuit, the 2 premium hands at the table. Oh, and a pair of jacks for Alex. Should be an interesting hand here. I'm sure we'll see Zach re-raise if anybody else elects to.
Lodges in Round Rock, Texas. Mark from Connecticut. Largest suburb of Austin, just north of Austin, Texas. 15-minute drive to the capital.
$20, Alex flats, and we're going to go 4-way, and Zach has connected with top.
Just drills it.
9 for both Quinn and Joe. And Alex is going to lead. Zach's going to make this a little bit more pricey. 150 to go.
Got 2 players hitting middle pair here, although Joe has, well, I guess actually they both have the backdoor straight here.
Alex not calling. Don't see Quinn folding either. Oh, just lift up his cards pretty high there. Yeah, I mean, got to protect those cards if you're Quinn a little bit. I think Zach could easily see your holdings.
We've, yeah, there we go. Okay. Quinn's, when you get a couple of drinks in him, he's even more showy with the cards.
Oh, I can imagine.
Here comes the turn.
I've actually won a few.
Ooh!
Of course.
My
Both of the
goodness.
players with the 9 there.
And I don't know if Zach, I mean, I'm going to assume Zach saw his cards, so Zach knows that Quinn has folded the 9 here.
I'm sure Quinn is telling the table that he folded the 9 right now, so nobody has to guess.
Raise from Zach and Alex with jacks and 9s.
Not like this.
It's going to be like this. Yeah.
Come on, jack of clubs.
Don't think so. 1 out from space.
Nope. Doesn't come. Zach is going to win this pot.
Michael.
As long as he stays in.
Are you really going to lead here? And he is. Tragic. Absolutely tragic.
Zach might be worried about some random 6, but for $100 in this pot so large, he's never ever folding, so it's a call or a writ makes the call.
I think Zach knows exactly where he's at. He was actually probably considering a raise there, but wants Alex to keep playing, so elects not to.
Shows the jacks.
We're one for Max Payne on this program, Jacob, so I know these guys are friendly and work with one another in the space, but got to put that Max Payne on at the poker table.
Matt Shade says, promotional link for Adam and Eve in advertisers. Looks like you guys finally made it. Hey, absolutely. We love advertisers and sponsors. And it's a great website. After this hand, folks, joke of the night, joke of the day, whatever you choose to call it, we will have it after this hand. There's your VPIPs, 94%. Quinn actually went up a percent. And look at Alex creeping up there at 83%. Joe, 72%. This may be our highest 1, 2, 3 that we've seen in a long time, 94, 83, 72.
Yeah, it's up there. Usually we hang around, the 50 mark, and that's very high. I'm tempted. I might have to get out there, folks, in about 15, 20 minutes.
Wouldn't blame you one bit for doing it.
Mark, we'd love to have you down here. The Lodge Mahal is a 60-table room. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week off exit 251, I-35. Listen, 15-minute drive to the south. You hit the capital of Texas in Austin. And we're in Round Rock, which is the largest suburb of Austin. So, yeah, absolutely. Come on by. We got cash and tournaments every day. It's a social club, so anybody 18 years or older can sign up, become a member, and then it's just $10 an hour. We don't take any rake. You don't see our dealers take any rake off of the cash table. It's just $10 an hour, and we get to see a flop of 339. No player hits any part of that.
Definitely great value playing here. As somebody who hit up the casinos in Florida when I lived there, I dramatically prefer this model of the hourly or the membership fee. And I think it's part of the reason that Texas is having such a poker renaissance right now. I mean, you guys are filling up this huge building, got tons of games going at all time, and I'm sure it's in no small part due to that different model.
Absolutely here. And look at Nathan raising 200 with 5 high and targeting Joe. And Joe hasn't been too active, and Joe just with queen high and fires in a raise on top of that. So both of these guys have been somewhat snug. I thought they perhaps would make a move like this on some of the opponents on the other side of the table.
Very surprised to see Joe make that raise there, especially considering how few hands Nathan has been involved in.
Right.
Must have a really, really hard read on him right now.
But they've never played.
Yeah.
And Nathan didn't really give anything away, but he only has 5 high, so just Joe.
Impressive instincts from Joe for sure.
Both players with air.
And I can confidently say there's no way that Nathan calls or re-raises here. Yep. Here we go.
And there's Joe. Now we're playing poker. He shows the bluff, but it was the best hand.
Yes.
Yep.
And that's what
Look at that
Nathan is
a
saying.
little smile on
Yeah.
Joe's face. He loves it. Just loves it. Bluffing with queen high. That's a game of poker. That's why we all love it. Sometimes you have nothing. You put the chips over the line, and you take down the pot.
So here's the joke of the night, joke of the day, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Jim is a 40-year-old man living in Austin, Texas. Went to a bar last night. Sees a lovely woman in the bar. She must have been 55, 60 years old, but she was dressed very sexy. From head to toe, high heels, looking so beautiful. He goes over and talks to her. She says, Jim, have you ever had a sportsman paradise? Jim says, I don't know what that is. He goes, well, that's when a mother and daughter have sex with you. He looks at her. She's so beautiful. His visions in his mind. He says, absolutely, let's try it. She says, follow me. They follow her home. She opens the door. She goes to the stairwell and says, hey, Ma, you still up? There's the joke of the night. One, if you like it. Two, if you don't. Everyone knows the rules. An oldie but a goodie.
And I think that might actually be the plot to one of the free VODs you get if you purchase anything on Adam
There you
Eve.
go.
That poker promo code.
I remember that joke being longer.
I wanted to shorten it because you hate long jokes.
It was longer originally, though,
Yes.
was it not? But that was oh, man. You even butcher the good jokes. That was a funny one, but I'm like, that's not how it went the first time.
Hey, Ma, you still up? That's the punchline. One, if you like it. Two, if you don't. Everyone knows
But
the rules.
you're working on it. So
June. Hello, June. She sends me a joke or two every week.
I'm going to give you a solid one.
Red Sox Nets gives me a 1.
1-5. I'm stuck in the middle.
Oh, he said, good Lord. Sharon Barth a 1. Jason a 2. Skull Mike gives me a 1.5. Can't do it. Throw that vote out. 1 or a 2. Daniel Garrett, 1 all day.
Dan G in the building. What's up, Dan? Scott, John. Thank you all for watching. Hope you were entertained. Spread the word out about this stream. 510 Uncapped. Visit pokerunicorns.com. Of course, visit thelodgelive.com if you're trying to play in future games. Fill out the questionnaire under the Contact Us section. We run games Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday.
Oh, my God. Sharon Barth, the Yoda of Chatsville, coming in. She's laughing at your comment, Jacob. And she says, LOL, Jacob, also known as the Bone Us vids. Sharon Barth, going to town, Sharon, the Yoda of Chatsville.
Chad, happy to be a little risque today.
Yes.
Especially given our sponsors.
You know.
Gotta love it.
Jack 9 is the flop.
And Charles really thinking this decision over. I think he, again, probably has a pretty good idea of where he's at, probably realizes Quinn is not raising anything significant here, although he does have the best of it at the moment.
But real true Bitcoin is doing it the right way.
This is definitely one of the difficulties of playing against somebody like Quinn. Their range is always very disguised because they are involved in so many different hands. So putting Quinn on a pair here, very difficult. It's easy to eliminate jacks and nines, but not so easy to eliminate something a little more marginal. So looks like Charles is actually opting for the re-raise here, which may actually be enough to scare Quinn off. Let's see. Although, to be perfectly honest, any pair that Quinn hits here, I think he's a little shy to fold. Let's see if he can make the right read here.
Some people would argue, and that's the other thing is a fold if you show. Different use cases don't.
Fold if you show, Quinn says. I know Charles will agree to that. Yeah, he wants the fold here, so very good. Well played by Charles, recognizing Quinn didn't have much there, but maybe even had him beat. And a nice bet takes it down.
I think I'm going to get out there, Jacob.
Yeah, why don't you get on out there and sit and
go make some money for us.
Fill that seat 9.
Yeah.
Try.
Just make sure to get involved in as many hands as possible with Quinn. Shouldn't be too hard considering he's played, what, 94% of them?
Oh, man.
173 in the live chat. Skull Mike, Slick Rick, and Jacob Lively from Poker Unicorns. And Skull's going to duck on out there and try to sit in seat 9. We'll see him in 30 minutes.
Go get him, killer.
We've got another hour and a half to this show, so Skull Mike will be able to see the last. You can go ahead and take this chair out with you.
Gotta say, I think I prefer the captaincy.
Oh yeah, these are custom chairs given to us by the great DQ.
Oh, that was nice of him. Yeah, hopefully we get him on a stream at some point.
Yes.
I know I've seen him play on a few streams around Texas, and he is also another player. I would love to see him and Quinn go at it.
Oh yeah, well he definitely boosts this game to another stratosphere. I mean, he's fun to watch. Sometimes he doesn't even look at his cards, and it's just very entertaining.
So we've got 2 players here with hearts, 2 players here with diamonds.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see. Let's see what this pre-flop action looks like. I think if they keep it light, we're going to see a lot of players making it to the flop here. Shocked to see Quinn fold any hand, but
Flop comes 7. Oh, 2 diamonds. Ace 7
nice.
deuce.
So Zach catching the best of that in 2 ways. He's got the nut flush draw and top pair at the moment.
Yeah.
Question is, can he extract value from these other players?
$50.
Joe hitting that middle pair. He's sticking around to see a turn. Alex, I think, knows it's time to go.
I want to see Alex win a hand.
So do I.
Come on,
Poor
Jacob.
guy. Good Lord. What has he got? What has he got, like $150 left in his stack there?
I mean, here I am
Just
feeling
brutal.
sorry for a 22-year-old guy who's killing it in life,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I want him to win a hand.
Yeah, of course.
2 pair now and the flush draw for Zach. 94% to win. Gets a 7. A black 7 is the only thing that can save Joe.
Some people just have it all. And Joe betting out here. I'm sure Zach is overjoyed. Oh no, that's just a check there. Little miscue. And Zach does indeed take it down. Plus 165 for that hand.
So the actual XRP itself is just literally.
Hello to my brother John, who's watching in Oklahoma. Always nice to have you watching. Slick Rick, along with our good friend Jacob Lively from Poker Unicorns, and Skull Mike has left us. He's wanting to go play a little, so he's going to sit in that empty seat 9. We'll probably see him show up in about 25 minutes on the stream. Stephen Reisman on cue in the chat. Hello, how are you? Philly Murph says someone's going to pull a King Kai on Mikey. That's the old floating with 5 high on the turn and it going runner wheel.
Yeah, you don't really get any.
So shift is $22.
So basically, they're challenging Stripe or other.
Are you playing 7 deuce scat again? No, scat again.
Yeah. 7 deuce, everyone?
What?
You cool for 7 deuce game?
What are we gonna do with some of this?
You win 7 deuce, everybody pays 50 or 25, 50.
Zach just made the suggestion to play the 7 deuce game, where if somebody wins with a 7 deuce, everyone at the table must pay them a bonus of $25. And I think it's widely been accepted. Queen 4-5, couple of hearts.
Damn, my 7 deuce is looking good now.
Yeah.
And if you show down, it's double.
That's how I do it at my house, but we're just going to keep it simple. Just do the 25. Just 25.
Flies and Friends, $4.99 super chat. The Lodge is the best poker room in Texas. Thank you, Flies and Friends. Flies and Friends played on a stream recently.
All right, so Nathan hitting bottom pair. He's got the best of it. Let's see if Joe decides to make another move. Last time these two got involved in a pot, Joe decided to get a little tricky. And it looks like
Nathan's going to win with a 4, pair of 4s. Joe had the flop the open-ender wheel draw. 175 of you in the live chat. 3:26 in the afternoon. There you see a picture of the front half of the Lodge cam. A lot of people playing poker on a beautiful Sunday afternoon in Central Texas and the capital city of Austin. Got a, I believe it's the Sunday afternoon freeze out going on, and then we also have a lot of cash games in addition to the live stream and a lot of NFL action. Some people just like to come in, play a little poker on a Sunday, watch some NFL football on some of our we have 40 big screens, some of them 75 inches. Pretty incredible stuff. Frank will deal another hand, and we're about halfway through our broadcast for today. Having a lot of fun with some new players that we haven't seen before here at the Lodge, and hopefully they'll be back. Playing 5-10. 10 going around. Corey calls in the small blind. Back to the big blind. Charles says, let's see a flop. 5 ways. $50 in the skillet. Frank will give us a flop.
We have invisible and zero.
I would agree. I mean, Charles, regardless of what Craig Wright says or thinks, like,
Deuce 4-9. Seti McGetty for Zach in seat 4. Hits his set of deuces, but he just checks, hoping somebody will bet behind him. And he is in luck, because Nathan bets 35. Corey calls. So by the check now, does Zach come over and check raise here with the set of deuces?
Good old Chuck with top pair there. He's going to have a hard time getting away from this one.
Raises to 70.
Yep.
So the plan worked perfectly for
Alex up all in with ace high. Let's hope he drills it. Although he's going to have to hit runner here to have any chance.
He does have a wheel draw if he hits a 5.
Oh, very true. Yeah, didn't see that.
And Zach just calls, smooth calls. Interesting play by Zach. By him checking, got a lot of money in the pot.
Yep, and just opting to flat again here.
Let's maybe listen to some of the table talk here if we can listen in.
We just played the one where I had the trip nines and all in made like 100.
Oh, you relived it.
There's Adam B. There's your sponsor.
Adam and Eve. Sweet. It's actually inspired me.
So here comes the raise now from Alex. He says enough. I'm sorry, from Zach. He makes it 250. Over to Nathan. Nathan with top pair and a queen kicker, but he's got 0%. Never good when you see the 0% chance to win a pot.
Not the spot you want to be in, especially considering, you know, in his mind, he's still got top pair and a decent kicker.
Exactly.
It's very hard for him to know that he is drawing dead right now. I don't think he's going to see it. I think on his mind is probably some well-disguised 2-pair, you know, some random 4-8 combo, maybe even 9-8, 8-9 suited comes into play here. I doubt he's putting Zach on trips exactly. And there it is, the all-in from Nathan. This is not a good spot to be in because there's no way Zach is folding. Corey, you know, wants to play the 7-deuce game, but he's going to get out of the way as well. I'm sure Charles will fold. He's got to know he's beat. Top pair is just never going to be good enough in this scenario. So looks like Zach will definitely be taking this down, short of a miracle for Alex. Even so, he'll just be taking a side pot.
Kind of like home game, but not really.
Philly Murph says the next Stream Regulars poster put up needs to have a tub of hot and sour soup on it. Be funny if we put King Kai in the hot tub of hot and sour soup. The man brought a vat of hot and sour soup. Here we go, a call, all-in call. Nathan is going to see the bad news. He's drawing dead. Simply dead, and the only one with a chance for the main pot is Alex. A 5-ball comes, and Alex wins the main pot.
Come on.
Zach is looking really good, though.
And that is not it.
Yeah. So it's all going to go Zach's way. And that simple check on the flop, he flopped a set of deuces, and he checked there.
Now he's $1,000 richer.
And that simple check got him a lot of money right there.
Like I said in the beginning of the stream, Zach, probably the strongest player at the table. Very likely knew where he was at the entire time in that hand and did a phenomenal job extracting max value from multiple players. So good on him.
Robert Bradley, thank you, Slick Rick, for the awesome bling. You're the best. I regret not getting a picture of you, but we'll be back. First class room with a first class staff. Robert, can't wait to see you back here at the Lodge Mahal. Please, anybody who comes to the Lodge, I love hearing from people who watch the stream, good or bad. If you come up and say, Rick, I don't like the stream, that's fine too. But I love talking with people who watch the stream.
Checks here on 11.
And please do, anytime you're at the Lodge, and just ask anybody, it's Slick Rick here or Skull Mike here, they'll tell you. And chances are we're here a lot. And so always love talking with people who watch the stream. Today is a special matinee edition of Poker Night at the Lodge. It's Poker Unicorns is a group that we're here with Jacob Lively in the bunker joining us and having some fun.
Absolutely, and thanks again for having us, allowing us to host this game on your stream. It's been a pleasure so far, and looking forward to many more.
I don't know if I assume Alex is going to try to come back. Maybe.
Let's see.
We'll see. And,
What kind of interest are you getting there?
maybe he's taking a breather. It looks like Nathan just added back on for another $2,000 after getting busted there. Let's see if he can make a bit of a comeback here, recoup some of those losses. Picking up pocket sixes. He's got Joe beat already. Not a bad spot to be in.
yeah, Jazzbo, Adam and Eve is the sponsor along with Ground.News. And we'll tell you about that in the third hour. Coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll run their spots one more time and thank them for being part of this great show and being a sponsor today. Joe now with the pair of deuces. Queen, Queen, Jack. Two pair for Charles, 71% to win this hand.
Yep, and those sixes and deuces getting counterfeited pretty hard right there. Going to be hard to recognize that. Although Nathan does make the laydown. Wow, well, they both spot it. Charles' Jack is best here, and Quinn is going to have to pull out a miracle here. Let's see if Charles goes for a raise or just flats here. I think he knows he's not getting called by worse. Nope, goes for the raise.
Derek Myers says, I yelled checks on 11 at the Venetian the other day, and everyone knew what I was talking about. Yes, I was at table 11. That's funny. 178 in the live chat today for Sunday afternoon up against a lot of NFL football. That's pretty darn good. VPIP, Quinn 83%. Zach sitting at 33%. There you see the back of Anthony Chester, our wonderful tournament director. And let me tell you about a tournament that's coming up. It's the I-35 Cup. And Rounders is a great club in San Antonio, down in San Antonio. And the Lodge partnering together for a $500,000 guarantee over the Thanksgiving week. So we'll have 2 flights on Tuesday and Wednesday. We won't play any poker on Thursday because we'll be closed for Thanksgiving. But we'll also have 2 flights on Friday and Saturday. Both clubs will play down to 9 players. And we'll invite the 18 players who remain back to the Lodge on Monday, and we will crown a champion that Monday. It is a $500 buy-in, and we're guaranteeing $500K in the prize pool. So you know it's going to go way over that. Thanksgiving week, who wants to be in the malls anyways on Friday, Black Friday? Stay away from the shopping. Let somebody else do that. You come play poker.
Sounds like a way better time to me.
Yeah, so we're going to give a lot of money, and excited to work with our friends down in San Antonio from Rounders. Great club down there. Got a lot of friends down there. We were down there last month and had some fun. That's coming up in November, the Thanksgiving week, starting Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Play down on Sunday to 9 on each, and then come back the final 18 on Monday. So here we go. Another hand. Queen 8 deuce, Skittles. Pair of queens for Zach.
Zach catching quite a run of cards here. Let's see if his luck holds. Quinn's got an open ender as it stands. So really anybody's game at this point. Not quite what Quinn was looking for. Really wants that jack. And jack actually ends up being a particularly devastating card for Zach because it upgrades him to 2 pair. So if we see that hit on the river, I think a lot of money is going to go Quinn's way, but he opts not to take a look.
Fignut says I was playing Deep Stack Series there, and that's where I got asked so many times about the stream gear I was wearing. Love seeing pictures of people wearing the Lodge live stream gear at casinos and card rooms all over the country. It's fun. It's good for us, and we can't wait to be out in Vegas on November 6th. We're going to be all wearing all of our gear. Seeing if I can't tell you how many famous people are coming to our party in the poker community. So many people. And who knows who will show up, because the World Series main event is that week, and you never know. The poker world is going to be there, and if they want to come to the party to end all parties, they're going to have to give us a call. 4,500 square foot suite on top of Planet Hollywood. Pretty impressive. You're invited, Jacob, if you're going to be in Vegas. Come on by.
Geez, thanks. What were the dates on that again?
November 6th, Saturday, November 6th, we'll be in Vegas.
There's a non-zero chance I may be able to make that. We'll see how things play out.
All right, there you go. You're invited. So we've got 4 ways. Looks like the raise to 65 by Zach. Joe calls. Corey with 9-7 offsuit.
Looking, wouldn't be shocked here to see Quinn call. I think just about everybody else is. Wow, Joe calling. Joe looks like he's picking a spot here. He wants to get tricky again. I don't think there's any way you are calling with 6-3 off from under the gun unless you really want to apply some pressure on later streets. So let's see what plays out.
Yeah, the Lodge has a special promotion on Halloween a week from today. If you wear a costume to come into the Lodge to play poker, you get 2 hours free play on Halloween. If you come as Slick Rick, I'll give you an extra couple hours myself. Up to 5 people. And you got to be a legitimate Slick Rick.
Since I live in Texas, I started doing that.
Looks like Corey potentially considering a re-raise here.
Now I'm doing lukewarm reads.
Am I wrong? Did I see him grab the wrong chips? The middle pair. You're going to be very hard to get Zach off top pair here. Yep, raise to 230. Quinn also hitting middle pair here, and he's got backdoor hearts. Let's see how the players talk this out.
You really need to do that, dude. It's so sick.
Now that Quinn's started losing some money, it seems he's less excited about calling literally every raise. So just Zach and Corey heads up now.
Jack of diamonds.
And of course, Quinn folds and immediately gets upgraded to top 2 pair. Or sorry, I should say middle pairs.
Corey drawing very, very thin. With 1-9 of clubs, he checks over to Zach. Zach is heating up here.
Yep.
King of clubs.
All right, so now Corey has one opportunity here to represent the 10.
Yeah, 4-liner to a straight.
Let's see if he, so Zach checks. Again, very tricky here. I think if Corey can find the chutzpah to fire here, we may see a fold from Zach. Let's see if he recognizes that opportunity. No flushes on board, so if Zach sees a raise here, he has to eliminate basically every possibility other than a 10. And Corey's thinking about pulling the trigger here. Sure hope he does. I'd like to see it.
Thinking about it.
Yeah, it's got to be a big one, I think. Given the size of the pot, I think something in the neighborhood of 4, maybe even 500 is enough to take it down. Can he find the stomach?
Reaching for chips.
What is this? Is that 300?
Looks like it's maybe 300. Let's see what it is. It is 300.
I think for 300, Zach. Oh, no, he does let it go. Right sizing there. I think a little more would have been preferable, but he got the job done with the 300. And
no, I think he called. He threw a chip in.
I see.
Yeah, he threw a chip. In honor of us talking sandwiches, we're going to play this soundboard clip.
So if it's using sandwiches?
There we go. We bet sandwiches in this stream a lot. Sharon Barr says this stream always makes me hungry. Hoodies closed on Sunday, though, folks, so don't go over to Hoodies right now. They are closed. Nick Tran gives me a 1. That's a little late, but we'll take all the ones. Bruce, yes, Joke of the Night came about an hour and 15 minutes in, so go back and listen to that. It was an oldie but a goodie.
Even did a little sponsor tie-in for that.
Apparently it's hard to hear us. You said it's hard to hear us?
Yes, Fig Nuts. The brew house in Austin I spoke of. The Draft House in Central Austin, the coldest beer. Uh-oh, there's Alex.
So that's where everybody went, just grabbing jackets. And yet, it looks like he's added back on.
Is it cold in here?
It's a little chilly. That's why I opted to put on the sweater before I got in the booth.
All right.
My fancy new Poker Unicorns polo is sadly not on prominent display.
Oh.
But I'm not.
Got to get
stream,
a pullover with the logo on it.
That's it. Now that's a good idea.
A little hoodie, like we had. Ace 10 8, couple of spades.
Interesting here. Nobody catching much. Joe's got the best of it with King Eye. Not necessarily easy to recognize that you're in the lead there.
Yeah, Ron, I'm looking forward to November 6th. Looking forward to seeing you out there.
Though he does call the $10 min click from Quinn. Still nothing for either player. Now we see a $50 raise. I think Quinn is out of here.
Billy Murph says, are these guys all about to get into a snowball fight? They do look, zipped up and ready to. We keep it a little cold in here, but some guys just get a little colder than others. I get it. I'm one of those that I like it a little cold. I'd rather be cold than hot. There you see the front half. The tournament is on a break right now. The Lodge Can is on a Sunday afternoon. The Lodge Mahal, 60 tables of poker paradise, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you're 18 years of older, you can be a member. That's all. Cash is $10 an hour plus a daily or monthly or annual membership fee. And that's it. No rake. So the end of no money comes off the table at all from the house. At the end, when you're ready to leave, you go to the cashier and say, I'm ready to leave. I want to check out. They tell you how many hours you were there, and that's when you pay the $10 fee. So all the money stays on the table. If you think of your local casino, if you're playing a 1-2 or 1-3 game, they're taking literally a buy-in off the table every hour and a half or so, and that adds up. And if more money is on the table, the more money you have a chance to win. There we go. 5 ways to a flop. Frank will give us a King, Queen, 8, couple of hearts on the flop.
And I got to say, big props to Frank. You guys were not kidding. He is a world-class dealer. He's doing a phenomenal job today. Have not seen a single mistake from him. Flipping the cards like a magician.
Yeah, and he's good.
Giving us some interesting flops for sure.
He's got a lot of experience out in Vegas on cruise ships from around the world. We've got COVID has done a lot of things. It's given the Lodge a lot of great dealers because a lot of card rooms closed.
Yeah,
We've
I can
got
imagine.
Almost a dozen from Boston alone when they stopped dealing poker. They needed they're business people too. They need a place to work.
No, the dealer community is very tight. It can be a small world, and I think once opportunity opens up somewhere, especially at a huge spot like this, I'm sure word spread quickly, and you guys captured some quality dealers. We're gonna have to borrow them for our next big game in Puerto Rico.
You know, I'm sure a couple of them would want to travel down there. Cracker Carl Bumpkin, teenagers should definitely not be allowed in casino or card room to gamble. We do not encourage it. I don't know if we've ever had an 18-year-old, but that's the way the club has decided to do it. 18 years or older, but certainly there's not a whole lot of 18-year-olds coming in here to play poker. I agree. I think maybe 21 is, but you know, poker is a little bit different. It's not really like a casino. For sure, it's not like a casino. Poker is much more of a skill game. There's your VPIP. Quinn at 85%, Joe 75%. We got 3 players over 70%, which is really unheard of.
Yeah, very, very much an action game here. Now that Alex is back at the table, I'm sure we'll see that pick up even more.
186 in the live chat. Still want Alex to win a hand here in seat 2. Had a rough time of it right now.
I think he's stuck just about 2,000, if I'm not mistaken. But I've played a little bit of poker with Alex, and he's come to one of our games in San Francisco, and most recently in Puerto Rico. I've seen him win a lot. I've seen him lose a lot. So
nice.
Still got an opportunity to make it back here for sure.
Well, and can't feel too sorry for anybody at this table. They're living the good life. King Jack 6, Skittles. Pair of jacks for Alex. There we go, Alex. Looks like a bucket and a squirt, I believe. 100, no. 100 is the bet. Joe will fold. Corey also folds. Charles, his own remaining opponent, and I don't think he's calling here.
Shocked to see him call. I think he knows he can't push Alex around. Alex is just going to call anything.
There you go, Alex.
Yep, and he picks up a pot. Probably his first of the night.
I believe it might be.
Despite the, what was that, 75% VPIP, finally drags a pot. Good for Alex. Hope it's the beginning of a recovery. It's a long road, as you can see on the screen right there. 2.4K stuck.
Yeah, 2,400. That is now officially a wedding of maybe 30. 30 or 40 in the wedding, a small wedding. So there you go.
And that's with a cheap caterer.
Yes, exactly. And maybe not even an open bar.
A wedding without an open bar is no wedding at all.
Exactly. 200 in the live chat. Thanks for joining us in. We want to thank Poker Unicorns and our 2 sponsors today, adamandeve.com and ground.news. We'll tell you more about them one more time in the 3rd hour of the show, which we're about to end our 2nd hour, another 10 minutes, and we're going to go for till about 5 o'clock Central Time, which is 3:50 right now, so still a lot of fun to remain.
They're offering to buy, and I asked them if they consider a reverse merger.
And we'll see Skull Mike here any minute, another 10 minutes or so. We'll see Skull Mike pop in seat 9. Queen 8-7, Skittles, pair of queens for Nathan. Vaults to the lead. And Quinn, who is very active, first hour and 20 minutes or so. It's kind of slowed down a little bit.
I think he's realizing he can't hold on to a lead playing like he has been. Cards won't come forever, so it looks like he is, as you said, slowing it down just a bit.
Let's see if Alex can win 2 in a row. Calling with his pair of 8s.
Well, he's got the second best of it. I don't think Nathan's going to go anywhere, so it'll be up to him.
Neither of them have any idea what assets we have.
Alex is heads up with Nathan. He raises it up 50. Nathan's going to look down and say, it's my 5 kicker. That's what I'm worried about. Not much of a kicker at all. He folds.
Wow.
Alex, 2 in a row.
Very, very conservative fold from Nathan. I'm surprised to see that there, but he is a pretty cautious player. Charles looking deep in thought.
Our problem is we have developed revenue, so that's destroyed our potential valuation. Once you have cash flow, you're screwed.
And if you can overhear any of the table chatter, Quinn making jokes about a reverse merger, he's got a very dry sense of humor. Some people would argue it's a stretch to call it humor at all.
Do me a favor if you could, like and subscribe to our channel. Also, follow me on Instagram. A lot of good tidbits throughout the week. My Instagram, Slick Rick Lodge, at Slick Rick Lodge. Some fun stuff. I always put the joke of the night on the Instagram, so if you miss it, I think I've got 50 different jokes on my Instagram. It's tough to come up with a different funny joke every week, every show.
Tacking on to that, if you'd like to learn more about Poker Unicorns, what we're doing, and any of our upcoming events, please visit us at pokerunicorns.com and follow us on Instagram at pokerunicorns on Instagram. We post any upcoming events there, information about us, and general promotions, kind of anything that we've got going on. We do some fun local stuff, home games, and small kind of party in the park type events here in Austin, in addition to our big game series, which are high stakes games all around the country: San Francisco, New York, and most recently Puerto Rico.
There's a flop of King, Queen, 10, couple of hearts.
And Quinn,
2 pair.
Drilling it here. Nathan with a pair of 8s is probably going to be a little gun shy here. Zach knows his 2s are beat. And yet Nathan lets it go. Alex calling for seemingly no reason here.
What? Alex, come on, you just won a couple of hands in a row.
No flush draw. He's got a backdoor straight, which he just completely missed. And I think it's time to leave. I sure hope he does not elect to barrel here. Okay, good. Check, check.
Well, there's the bet.
Quinn's got her locked up. Alex, don't do it. There's no reason to do this, and he does it. And he makes the call. Absolutely nothing drawing. There's 0% chance Quinn is getting away from this under any circumstances. Even if Alex represents the 10 here, I don't think Quinn is going to recognize that.
And so there's no cost for us to do that at all. As far as marketing cost, acquisition cost is 0.
And he lets it go.
Yeah, if they bring it to you.
Lets it go, $150 poor, Alex.
Help them build a business.
Quinn drags another big one with which to bully the rest of the table.
Box is pretty much a packing syndication company. Yeah. So they bring on anywhere from 4 to 10 a month. So
1 a day, 20 minutes. So how much variance does the dealer add to the hands? Pardon? So how much effect do you have on hands we get?
Depends on
depending on the dealer.
well, depends on how much you tip it.
Quinn asking how big of an impact the dealer has on the games. Another player responding, well, it depends how much you tip him. The correct answer in this scenario.
That's funny.
We should have a tip leaderboard. Yeah. That would be very cool. I like that idea a lot.
Cracker Carl, no, there are Arby's in Texas. They definitely have Arby's in Texas.
Do you guys have Waffle House here? I'm relatively new.
Yeah, there's Waffle House. There's very few of them, not as many as used to be.
Gotcha.
I know there's one out near the airport.
You guys have In-N-Out as well, right?
Yeah, In-N-Out's here.
This has got to be about the farthest east they go.
Yeah, it's, there's big, obviously Whataburger is big here. Pete Terry's is a good burger.
Just had a burger from there this week for the first time. I was actually fairly impressed.
Yeah, I think it's better, but to each their own. But yeah, In-N-Out is here. They came a few years ago. Whataburger, definitely Texas tradition. So yeah, a lot of different chains. Where are you from originally?
Originally so I grew up, born and raised in Florida.
Okay.
But lived in Chicago, Columbus, New York. Right before here, I was living in Salt Lake, and then splitting my time between here and Sweden.
Sweden?
Yep.
Wow. That's cool. I've never been to Sweden.
It's a beautiful place.
I've heard.
Ask me numbers, and then I would try and come up with a witty response.
One of my best friend growing up is married to a Swedish girl, and they go there. A lot. They drink a lot of. They eat a lot of fish, a lot of white fish over in Sweden.
And the highest candy consumption per capita of any country in the world.
Really?
Swedes love candy.
Interesting.
What do you mean? Like, tell me how many engineers you have. It's like, well, and I probably said, I'm going to look it up on LinkedIn. Yeah, it's like, well, you want me to like
There's
look
a
it
bet
up right now on the podcast?
from Quinn, and Alex will fold.
Okay, great. You went back to you're like bubbly.
And Alex had a pair of deuces and folded to the bet. On to the next hand.
Quinn and Nathan exchanging banter about Nathan's podcast, SaaS Interviews. That's SaaS Interviews. If you are at all interested in software as a service, learning more about the space and learning about what companies are doing right now, it's a phenomenal podcast, and it's hosted by Nathan Lacko, one of our players tonight.
Racer nerd in the chat. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, go ahead.
There's Skull Mike, as you were just going to allude to. Yep. There he is. If you've tuned in wanting to see Skull Mike on the felt, there he is, seat 9.
Yep, I'm curious to see. I guess we'll know, considering the delay, we'll know in about a half hour just how well Mr. Mike has picked up here. He saw the action that was going on at this table and did not want to miss out. Can't blame him.
I know you wanted to play earlier, but we wanted you in the booth to talk a little bit about Poker Unicorns and the sponsors, and glad you were able to. Maybe after the stream you can get on out there and play a little.
I think we just got a beautiful new poker. So Charles and I recently got a house together.
Oh, nice!
Just got a beautiful new poker table. We've got a poker room set up, so maybe we'll drag everybody back and lose a little more money.
Nice. You got a little setup there with your own poker table.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. What part of town you live in?
We live in Manchac, which is technically South Austin, really.
Well, I'm
right on the border.
I'm glad you pronounced it right.
Yeah.
You're new to Austin. Some people would say Manchaca, but it's Manchac. I've got a whole list. If I ever do stand-up, and Skull Mike, if we ever get to 20,000 viewers, one of the bets we have is that I do 33 minutes of stand-up. I think my routine would be all the things new people in Austin mispronounce. But Manchac is one of the big ones, and you got it right.
I got a lot of family in Massachusetts, so used to pronouncing, any incorrect pronunciation of Massachusetts locale.
Right.
It merits immediate bullying, so picked up on that pretty quick.
I was born in Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah?
So there you go.
We got a lot of family in Leominster.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. I love the pronunciation, too.
Zach picking up queens here. Let's see what he can get done.
Chip value, Skull Mike has some purple chips. Those are 500. Black chips are 100. Green chips 25. Red chips are 5. Don't see any yellow chips out there. If we do, they're 1,000. Jack 8-6. Couple of hearts. Pair of queens out in front, but top pair for Joe.
That's what my friends are telling me. No, because I still don't have cash.
And a quick call. Zach bets 200 with his ladies. Joe's in trouble here.
Charles, not a lot of equity to realize here. I think he's got to know ace high is not going to cut it, and he does. Probably regrets calling, but ace 10 is not a hand you're too willing to let go of from that position. So
there's a 10 of hearts. That may slow some things down, as now Joe does have more outs with the flush draw.
Yep. Surprised to see Zach slow down. He's got to recognize the possibility of a flush draw coming in for Joe. May just want to see if he barrels into him, and it looks like that is exactly what he's going to do.
Claire, that's Worcester, not Worcester. It's Worcester.
Worcester, Massachusetts.
Worcester.
And is Zach going to lay down the best hand here? He's certainly thinking about it. I would imagine if he calls, he's putting Joe on exactly what he has, which is flush draw. And here we go. Let's see if Joe drills it or Zach's taking it down yet again.
5 of diamonds, so Zach's going to win.
And it looks like it goes check, check. Yep. Joe not willing to fire that last barrel. Whether that would have gotten the job done, unclear, but Zach wins another big pot, almost $1,000. He is far and away the chip leader tonight. Glad to see my business partner taking it down.
Turn that one up to 73. It was set at 70.
So we're going to go ahead and hear one more time, our final time from Adam and Eve, one of our sponsors.
AdamandEve.com. Use code POKER at checkout for 50% off one item, plus free shipping in the US and Canada. Plus special bonus gift, 6 free video-on-demand movies with purchase. Some exclusions apply.
I'll give you half of whatever you get.
Thank you to Adam and Eve. On to the next hand, and we'll have one more sponsor mention from Ground.News here in a few minutes. We want to thank both Adam and Eve and Ground.News today for being our sponsors of the live stream. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, Skull Mike.
And then join the table. That's all right.
Racer nerd. Get your deals at Adam and Eve. Hey, if you need it,
Not like a secret how we play poker.
that's where you can get it.
I don't know how you describe my stock. It actually would be pretty fun.
Corey raises to 30 with the ladies.
Did one say like gaping winners?
Joe with pocket fours. Skull Mike with King Jack offsuit. So let's go to the flop. Frank will give it to us. Uh-oh. Quinn flops the straight. What am I missing here? Seti Maggette for Joe. Quinn, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is a straight.
If I order something from Juice Land, anyone want something? Juice Land.
Let me get a juice. I like Jamba Juice.
Yes.
Definitely.
Corey raises it. Quinn 3 bets with his straight to 300. Uh-oh. Joe with a set of 4s going to 4 bet to 1,000.
You've lived here too long. I don't know about Juice Land.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Back over to Quinn. Says, I've got the nuts right now.
Feeling lucky.
And he calls. This is going to be the hand of the night. And our man Jacob
Looking really good right now.
left the room here a minute. It's all me for the hand of the night. 7 outs for Joe. A 9. So now all in and a call. 8 outs for Joe. An 8, 9, or 5, or a 4. 8 outs. 4, 5, 8, or 9. Hand of the night right now. 5K in the pot. And an ace will not do it. Quinn flops the straight against a Seti Maggette from Joe, and a huge hand as Quinn is going to let Frank count the money and see how much Joe will owe. There was no way Joe could get away from. He flopped a set against a 6-7.
It looks like I missed the biggest hand of the night.
You did. You stepped out, and all of a sudden fireworks. Flop straight for Quinn versus a flop set for Joe. It was just going to happen.
Absolutely brutal for Joe. He's been playing great tonight. Sucks to lose it all on a hand like that, but that's kind of the nature of the beast.
You can order food here, and we'll drop off.
And while they're doing this, while they're doing the split, let me tell you one last time about Ground News. Ground News has an innovative approach to bursting your filter bubble. The platform simply looks at each individual news story via an algorithm and then lets you know what type of outlets are mostly covering that specific event. It basically tells you if a particular news story is being widely covered or if it's just a big topic of conversation between the news outlets within your ideological bubble. Ground News is a first-of-its-kind app that lets you compare over 50,000 news sources. But it's not just a news aggregator. It's a tool with a ton of easy-to-use features to help you be more confident that you're getting the full picture. If you're looking for a better way to consume news, check out Ground News by visiting ground.news/unicorn to download the free app. Diversify your news intake today. And we want to thank both of our sponsors, adamandeve.com and ground.news, and gave them each some love, and hopefully y'all will check out what they have to offer.
Absolutely. Can't recommend either of them more highly. Adamandeve.com, of course, supplying all of your needs for the bedroom. They ship discreetly, so if there's any concerns about privacy, fear not. And Ground.news, again, an app that I have personally used for some time now. Amazing way to aggregate and kind of check on, make sure that you're not just filling your head with one sort of side of the political spectrum.
Yeah. It's interesting to think that something like that is needed, but it is.
Absolutely.
And it's
some kind of
crazy
filtration mechanism
Yeah.
for what's going on in the world. It's there's a lot of highly biased reporting, just sort of as the nature of
on both sides.
Of course,
on both sides.
Of course,
and,
yes.
It's like used to be when I was a kid. There was you just didn't question. If the commentator at 6 o'clock told you.
Yep.
And now we live in a different world with so much more information, because I think information nowadays is instantaneous. Back when I'm 55, so back when I was a kid, I guess radio was the most instantaneous. But even then, they had to, it took time to get to the story. Now, if somebody has a Twitter account,
instant, yeah,
it's instant.
A lot of news is picked up on the ground by passersby, not even reporters, and those people then sell their first-hand account to media outlets, and very difficult to sort of get at the truth of the matter. So companies like Ground.news that, nothing wrong necessarily with consuming biased or slanted news, but understanding that slant is something that Ground.news gives you the ability to do. Very, very powerful concept in today's media landscape, as we have alluded to.
Pair of 10s for Alex.
This time I'm not going to play after the stream stops.
Yeah.
Ooh, and we've got ace-queen suited for Nathan. I have to imagine he'll be sticking around for just about anything here.
Corey with a very interesting 5-6 suited. People never see that one coming.
Nope. Big fan of those well-disguised suited connectors. There's just a lot of flops that Corey can hit here that are going to seem very innocuous to the ace-queen and the pocket tens players that he might just drill. So let's see if exactly that happens. Our lovely dealer Frank is going to give us a look. Does not look like it this time. Action flop. We've got trips for Alex, and Nathan hitting top pair with a Broadway draw here. So I am sure we are going to see sparks fly, although I do think Corey will probably bow out in short order here.
Big Nut says Skull Mike is card dead. I think he's been dealt 3 hands. Don't know if he's card dead yet.
Yeah, we'll see shortly here.
Nathan with 9 outs, looking for a heart.
Yeah, and Nathan's not going anywhere here. Got the flush draw, got the straight draw.
Seti Maggette for Alex. 8 outs.
I'd love to see Alex hold here, and he's all in for 220. Nathan's obviously going to call here. And let's see if Alex can hold on.
Alex could get a big chunk of his losses back as he shows the set of 10s.
Got to fade any jack and any heart. 8 outs for Nathan here.
Any non-board pairing heart. Let's see what happens here.
True.
But you're right, 8 outs. There's
the
heart.
My lord, yep.
Oh,
and Alex just really...
I mean, he just, even when he got it in with the best of it, and he's going,
and he
damn.
just shakes his head. He knows, I think, wouldn't be surprised to see Alex take a take it cooler, take a break.
That's the thing. I Venmoed a friend before this.
Wow.
You know, with my whole Venmo transaction limit, and he, instead of sending it back to me, he transferred it. I was like, wait, what? It's uncapped on Venmo. But I could PayPal. I don't even know if I even have.
It's like Alex is thinking about buying back in already.
Players checks are plays on 11.
I play with Alex.
I mean, he had a great hand in that hand.
There's
just
some
nights
you're never getting away from that. He made the best play. I don't think there's anything that's stopping me personally from going all in there. And Nathan just he had the equity to call and realized that equity. What are you going to do?
I have a bunch of your shirts.
Can't be too bummed out about it.
202 in the Lodge chat on a Sunday afternoon special edition of Poker Night at the Lodge, doing a joint venture with Poker Unicorns. Jacob Lively in the bunker as Skull Mike took his seat in seat 9, and it's been an interesting Sunday afternoon. We typically are a nighttime stream, so we know a lot of you might be watching this after the fact, after it's already happened. We get probably about between 20 and 40%, depending on the stream, of views after it airs live. So we expect today it's going to be a little higher than that because of Sunday. So much going on a Sunday, but we're having some fun. Random Rich Life says, Slick Date Jess 36. Rick, what's up? How are you, sir?
I would if you weren't on camera. I can't be on camera.
You're right, Fig Nuts. It did go exactly how he wanted, except for the heart.
Easy. Pick the first one. Keep it simple.
Sounds like we've got a little bit more volume on the player mics now, so we can hear them a little bit better.
Yeah.
Definitely some interesting conversation at this table. We're definitely known at Poker Unicorns for our games creating an environment where people can grow and develop personal and professional relationships. We've seen a lot of deals made at our tables, and our players have mutually lost a lot of money to each other and made a lot of money together. So
how do you recruit for your Poker Unicorns? I mean, how do you get the people that want to be part of this?
So we're fairly well connected in the crypto space. Zach, obviously running a blockchain adjacent fund, means that he knows a lot of people in that environment. Alex over here is somebody that we met not too long ago, just a couple of months, but he's introduced us to a lot of people in the space. A lot of our clients are ultra millionaires or even billionaires that like to maintain our privacy. So I'm hesitant to name drop.
Sure.
It's the network effect. The more people you know, the more people you get to know, and the more people hear about how great these games are and how much action there is, the more people want to play. Just kind of the nature of being an events company. So we really just got our start earlier this year at the Bitcoin Miami conference, where we threw a big game there. We had some really big names in MMA. I don't know if you follow MMA, but
a little bit.
Chris Cyborg's the #1 female welterweight. Really,
nice.
She's the best female pound-for-pound fighter in the world. She showed up. We had the mayor of Miami there. We had some other big figures in the crypto space, and things have just kind of spiraled from there. It's been a very explosive growth, and we've gotten to do a lot of really cool stuff in a very short period of time, and definitely excited to see where the business goes. And we're excited to be here with you, growing this stream. This is hopefully another big part of what we end up doing.
Awesome. There's your cumulative winnings. Quinn up 4,100, Zach up 3,500, Charles up 300. Everyone else is losing, including our good friend, my partner, Skull Mike, down 60, Nathan down 785, and throwing the party right now, Joe and Alex, both down 2,900 and 3,000 respectively. Aggression frequency, interesting. That's a good stat.
Really appreciate it.
That's something that I have to work on in my poker game. I'm not nearly, I do too much calling and not enough raising. And I got to change that in my game. I know that, but I continue.
Poker's a difficult game, and it's one that you really never Well, you can certainly get worse at it, but ideally, it's one of those games you can never really stop getting better at either. There's always elements of your game to tighten up, always new lessons to learn, and we find at Poker Unicorns for sure that a lot of our players sort of tie their poker philosophy to their investing strategy, to how they manage their businesses, how they assess risk. Definitely a lot of corollaries between being an entrepreneur, being a founder of a business, and being a player at the poker table.
Yeah, I can see that. Just truly amazing the new companies and the amount of wealth that's been created. Certainly, crypto has played a lot, and I think a lot of the people who are in crypto also enjoy playing poker too. So it's really created another boom in the. We like to think live streams, vloggers have. I think it's all together. It's a combination of the vloggers putting out content on a daily basis, all the different live streams, and then of course. Crypto has something to do with this next poker boom that we're seeing.
Most definitely, yeah. And you're seeing a lot of people. We have at the Puerto Rico event, we had a lot of people that had played poker for the first time that night.
Really?
Yeah, and we had our smallest table was a 5-5. So people are excited to they're excited to learn. They see how much fun the game is. They see how much action there is at the table, and it's in our mind, poker is in a lot of ways kind of the new golf course. This is where deals are made. This is where friendships are developed, and exciting to be a part of it for sure.
If I fold, it goes to the next spot. Is that fair? All right. I'm not.
Quinn says he's going to fold. Over to Joe.
Honors his word, too.
Joe is going to win this pot.
It's good for him. He needs to take some money from Quinn to recover from that nasty all-in scenario just a few hands ago.
Flopping a set versus the straight.
Yep.
Always going to it's always going to leave a mark for somebody there.
Yep.
Hello, Copa. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, Fig Nuts 35, Limpy Ricardo. That's sometimes in my poker game. I'm getting better at it, though. I mean, I've only been playing 35 years, so I'm no expert. I'm no crusher. I'm just a guy who enjoys the game. I'm more of an enthusiast rather than a pro, for sure. Not a pro, but an enthusiast. I just like poker. Everything about poker I've been playing since I was basically in high school. We weren't playing Hold'em though back in high school. Different games. There's the bet.
All right, Alex picking up another big hand.
Big slick suited.
Let's see how this plays out. Correct me if I'm
King,
wrong,
Queen, 6.
All right.
Top pair, top kicker for Alex.
Charles hitting middle pair here. Let's see if he fires or opts to check. Making the right call there for sure. No way Alex doesn't raise here. He is going to try to realize very quickly, play this one fast. I think this will be the first hand we've seen Mike get involved in. Let's see how he plays his middle pair. He's just a smidge ahead of Charles here.
He's going to fold it.
Yep. There he goes. Let's see if Charles can arrive at the same conclusion. It is tough to lay it down against players like Alex who are prone to throwing money in the pot, and it looks like that's the read that Charles has, although sadly this time it is not a bluff. It's not crazy play. He's got top pair, top kicker, and he's not going anywhere.
He built MGM Grand and Mirage and Sands. Gotcha. Anyway, the casino owners, they'll, whenever they open a new casino, all the owners will go and lose a bunch of money at the guy's opening night. So he comes in and he says, "Can I do $1 million bet?" And they let him. And he puts $1 million on.
All in from Alex.
And rolls a 7.
I don't think there's any way Charles can really call here with second pair. I mean, if he has the soul read on Alex and he thinks he's just playing fast and loose like he has been.
Alex is probably thinking to himself, please don't call, even though I'm way ahead.
Yeah.
I don't want you to call because Frank is going to say push him out, and I'll tell him the exact count. 325 looks about 355.
Charles doing the math.
I'm pricing that in. For a living. Oh, yeah, that's priced in. Is your
That's priced.
No, it's a conflict of interest. And also, my fund is spot. I trade. Of my personal play.
Charles looking rather disgusted right now. To be perfectly honest, I have no idea what he's going to do here. He's really deep in the tank.
And Alex having a secondary conversation, totally disinterested in the pot. That may be a tell.
Yep.
We're going to do either before Thanksgiving or early next year. It's going to be in Salt Lake? In Salt Lake, yeah. Y'all should fly out, ski, and if you do it next year, I'll be there.
Alex planning the ski trip. Sounds like his fund is going to do a big launch party, which hopefully they contract Poker Unicorns there. We do organize events for other people if you're interested. Again, feel free to visit us at pokerunicorns.com or reach out to me directly at jacob@pokerunicorns.com. More than happy to answer any questions about the company or partner up with anybody who's interested in having us host a high-stakes poker event or event of any other kind.
And the fact that Alex just doesn't give a darn about this hand and just having a conversation, Charles got to look into that and say he's feeling very comfortable here. You know, it's either if he's bluffing, he's probably not jabbing as much, I think, in my mind.
I think that Charles is factoring that in here, but one thing I will say about Charles is that he will tend to a fault, ignore live tells and what's going on at the table and really try to think strictly about the math.
Yeah.
Sometimes to his detriment.
Yeah.
Now, Charles not drawing dead here. He's got 20%. He's got some reasonable outs. Jacks are good, gives him the straight. Queens are good, gives him trips. And tens are good because it gives him two pair. Alex still with top pair, but...
Oh, did you... Alex says, if you call and lose, I will buy you dinner. He just made that offer to Charles.
Charles is going to have to rack up a $305 bill to make that worth it.
That's so funny.
Although I have seen him eat, and I think he can do it. And
now he's
really,
talking too much.
Yeah, now he's trying to sell him on it. Or I could have nothing, he says.
He makes the call.
Bates trucking to making the call. He's way behind. Let's see if Alex gets sucked out on yet again, though. He certainly has not been the luckiest this evening.
6 outs. A queen jack or 10 here. Not going to happen. And Alex says, I'll owe you dinner, Charles.
I got some goldfish, man. You're coming to the barbecue, right? Yeah. Cool. Nice, Alex. First hand of the night.
No, it's not your first hand of the night. You've won a couple hands, Alex. There's your cumulative winnings. Alex gets out of the cellar for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Joe's deep in it after losing, if I'm not mistaken, it was a $2,200 pot to Quinn. Nasty straight over trip scenario. Only 2 winners tonight. Charles now, formerly in that coveted green position, is now down $165 after losing that hand. And Skull Mike with the best of the losers, although we haven't really seen him in any big hands yet. Definitely
not yet.
Excited to see how he plays something a little more interesting. So hopefully we see that shortly here.
Yeah, Racer Nerds. Charles did win a free dinner. Alex is going to told him, if you call and lose, I will buy you dinner. So there you go. Dinner sometime soon. Alex and Charles.
I think we're all going out for barbecue after this.
Ooh, wow.
Terry Black's.
Ooh,
yeah.
Good choice. One of the top ones I always recommend.
I've only heard good things.
Yeah.
I know it's a Texas institution. I've not yet been, so I'm excited myself.
Terry Black's. Do yourself a favor. Obviously, get the brisket, but try the pork ribs. Oh my goodness!
On your
if you eat
recommendation,
pork
I will.
ribs.
Yeah.
I just love them. And ooh, Terry Black's. Can't go wrong there.
I think they're more of a model
I am. I think it was an old Seinfeld bit. I am Jewish, but I'm only Jew-ish.
Yes, I hear you.
Sometimes
it's funny.
Pork and oysters are definitely weaknesses of mine.
You know, just bacon just tastes good. That's just all there is to it.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Skull Mike looking down at ace 10. First hand he might pick a chance to go in on.
I'm excited to see him play. I think he's, based on having watched the stream, he's got a good idea of what these other players are about. Excited to see if he's got the instincts to know ace high is in fact good here, and it looks like he has picked up on that.
Over to Quinn.
Is at least willing to pay $150 to find out. And Quinn lets it go, as he has absolutely nothing.
Skull Mike wins a pot.
And that does, in fact, put him in the green. I think he's up $60
now.
Making him one of 3 winners this evening. Talk about rich get richer. All that wealth concentrating in the hands of Quinn and Zach.
Jazzbo Poker won for the joke of the day. LOL. Sharon Barr says Terry Blacks is mixing approved. Absolutely mixing it up. Oh, and there's the lodge cam.
Looks like the tournament's back on.
Back from break, having fun. Lodge Mahal on a Sunday afternoon, having fun here. Fignuts 35 in the land of beef. Rick suggests the pork ribs. Absolutely. I also say brisket, Brisket and pork ribs, that's the 2-meat plate I get when I go to barbecue. I eat a lot of barbecue, folks. You will not go wrong if you go brisket, pork ribs, 2-meat plate. Pocket 7s now for Skull Mike. Raises to 25. Charles comes along with his pocket 5s. How about a 5-7 flop? Let's do set over set.
Oh, boy.
See some carnage here.
You're asking for it. It does look like.
We got a Seti Maggette.
Okay.
For Charles.
Very close. And we've got 3 hearts, which means Joe not going anywhere with that nut flush draw.
Ooh.
And I think Mike might have a hard time getting away from this, too.
Yeah.
He's only getting beat by queens in his mind right now. So Charles obviously with the best of it at the moment, but this could go a number of ways.
Over to Charles with the set. Does he just flat call here?
We see go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say if we see a heart on this turn, there will be fireworks for sure, because we know Mike won't go anywhere, and neither will Joe.
But ultimately, you guys don't like.
We do care.
Sounds like Zach's talking about his other business, easypoint.me. And there is indeed a heart on the turn.
Ooh, Joe now vaults to the lead. And it's going to be Joe and Charles.
Oof, brutal.
And now a straight draw, but Skull Mike's going to get away from this. He does have the flush too, but 7-high flush is not in a 5-way pot. Does have the straight flush draw.
I would not be surprised. Oh wow, he really.
Yeah.
He's got a good read on what's going on around him for sure.
Yeah, 7-high flush is.
He knows he's getting beat by any other heart there.
Yeah.
Charles, on the other hand, looks like he's counting it out. I think he knows that the flush is a possibility, but he is very hesitant to let go of these trips. And even if he knows he's beat now, he might be hoping to hit that boat on the river. Take a ride to Value Town.
Yeah, 4 of hearts on the river would have made Skull a straight flush, but let's see what Charles does with a set. I don't see him going anywhere. Especially it's just a buck and a squirt to call. Ooh,
and he makes the correct lay down here.
Down.
Alex, absolutely no way he can stay on this. Okay, great. So Joe takes one down.
Wow.
Probably not quite as big of a pot as he was hoping for, but does drill that nut flush. And it looks like Quinn's still in it. Is he considering this? Quinn's no. Yes. No.
He's got to lay it down. 4 to a flush out there. You got a pair of 6s.
There you go.
The one that I was surprised with was Charles.
Yeah.
He was getting a great odds. Bet was a buck and a squirt, so he's getting, what is that, 5 to 1?
Definitely, yeah, definitely a tight lay down, but in that situation, very likely the correct one.
Wow.
Sending Bitcoin back and forth or like that.
I think I would have had to call. There you see the chip count. Zach with 6K in front of him. Alex sitting with 750 in front of him. Everybody else in between.
I think from Charles's perspective there, with it was 2 players behind, you've got both Alex and Quinn behind you.
Right.
You got to recognize someone's going to have the heart there, and
Yep.
any heart is good. And knowing Charles, he's a fairly risk-tolerant person, but I think he's not the type to hope to drill that boat on the river. So laying it down there, definitely not wrong to call, as you said, but Charles choosing the more conservative option.
Yeah, Fignut says odds to draw there, but with all the other opponents, just as exactly what you just said, Jacob. So, alcohol being poured.
Oh boy, here we go. Things are about to juice up. It looks like everybody's taking a shot.
That's a very familiar bottle of whiskey. That's my bottle. What did they do? They just stole that from me. Skull Mike.
Tragedy strikes.
Taking it out of the bunker bar that we have here. We get more alcohol given to us by viewers. It's crazy. Bottle of Don Julio 1942 still. Thank you, Racer Nerd. That's some good stuff. I'm not a huge tequila guy, but that's smooth.
Do you guys remember which president was 99? I don't.
Anyways, back to what I was saying before. Zach earlier talking about his other business, easypoint.me. Very cool business. Zach has a tendency to find things that he's passionate about and start functional businesses based on them. Easypoint.me allows you, as an individual, to get very low rate first and business class flights. Awesome for international travel, awesome for long distance domestics. If you're the type of person that likes to fly first and business class, and you're also the type of person that likes to find a deal, check out easypoint.me. Awesome service. Can't recommend it highly enough.
Man, all these companies.
Zach, definitely a man who wears many hats. Not only the managing partner of Unbounded Capital and my partner in Poker Unicorns, but again, on the third business, easypoint.me, and he's always got his hands in a lot of pots. Very clever, very shrewd guy.
And where does he live?
He's also based here in Austin, not too far from here.
And where is he from? I mean, where did he grow up?
Originally from the Bay Area, and I think he spent some of his childhood in New York. I know he's got a lot of contacts in both cities, so studied music also at Oberlin Conservatory. Very talented musician, trumpeter or trumpeteer. I'm not sure what the correct nomenclature is there, but great guy, and definitely a pleasure to have around.
It's crazy how many people have chosen Austin. I mean, look, I grew up here, so I was here. 1975 is when I moved here when I was 8 years old, and there were 250,000 people, and Austin was the 50th largest city in America. Now, flash forward to 2021, we're the 10th largest city in the United States.
Yep.
And it seems like the world, including Elon Musk and Joe Rogan, Jacob Lively moving to town.
Yeah,
everybody's
I would
moving.
say we're all the same caliber of person for sure. Yeah.
It's just a good business climate. A lot of high tech. A lot of young entrepreneurs have because there's so much going on in Austin. And it's such a great place to live.
Absolutely. You got great weather, beautiful city, tons of stuff to do. That, of course, lovely no state income tax is a big draw for a lot of these guys. I know that for a fact.
And still affordable, even though the housing market has really doubled in the last few years.
I would say so, yeah.
I mean, literally, I know my house in the last 5 years has doubled in value, in 5 years. So
I believe it.
It's crazy. It's good if you're a homeowner, but it's bad if you're looking for a house.
I know a lot of people that have moved here in the last 6 months, some of the guys at this table included, who, the real estate market here just a few months ago was so hot, people were buying houses without ever having seen them.
Yes.
They just wanted to get a piece of action.
Yep.
And, I think for most of them, despite whatever issues they may have had after the home buying process, I think they're happy with their purchases because those real estate values do not seem to be going down anytime soon.
They haven't. It's crazy. For years and years, Austin was very, very cheap. One of the cheapest places to live, but not anymore. It's
when you got guys like this moving here, of course not.
Exactly. it's absolutely crazy. But
Alex drilling top pair again. Skull Mike put to a decision here. I think makes the right laydown. He knows ace high is, with a board like this, just not going to do it an overwhelming majority of the time.
there you see the cumulative winnings. Alex starting to pick up some pots. First 2 hours of the stream, I don't think he won a pot.
Slowly digging himself out of that hole. He was 3K down not too long ago. Now he's only 2.6K down. Sounds like we got a straddled pot here, or they're at least considering it.
Slick Rick, along with a representative from the Poker Unicorns, Jacob Lively. What is your actual title at the Poker Unicorns?
So my technical title is Director of Operations.
All right.
So I'm in charge of all things day-to-day, anything technical or operational having to do with Poker Unicorns, events organization, vendor management, all of the above. Sort of an army in a can type of guy. We're definitely still a small company, so there's a lot on my shoulders, but I like to think we can make it all happen, just like we made today happen.
Chairman live.
Yep. So $90 to call. Skull Mike lays it down.
Big Chuck here with ace-10. Nathan with jacks. Alex with king-6. I imagine we'll see Alex call here. King-6 is probably looking like a premium to him at this point. Charles, I would be surprised if we don't see him make this call. Knowing him, he definitely wants to at least break even today, and I think he probably sees this hand as a potentially good opportunity to do so. Does indeed make the call. And just like I said, Alex viewing King-6 as a premium.
King-6 offsuit for Alex.
Yep.
Oh, there's the king. King-9 deuce.
Of course, drills it.
Drills it. Starting to heat up. Saying, I love this game.
You'll probably see, yep, $100 raise from Alex. No surprises there. He likes to play these fast once he hits.
Be wary of the poker player who stacks his green chips 4 at a time. Just be wary of that guy. It's a tell. Rick's pro tip.
Nathan about to make a very disciplined laydown, I think, here. Yep, there he goes. Let's see if Charles can do the same. He has still got an over to the board, but I don't think he likes his odds. He knows he's very likely beat here already. There he goes. Charles, not the player who enjoys being put to these decisions. Obviously, nobody wants to be faced with a situation where they know they're losing and has to make a laydown, but making the right call there nonetheless.
Thank you for the continued support, Fig Nuts. Really appreciate that. The stream landscape is vast. More and more folks are entering the space, and we wish everybody the best of luck. There's some great things going on, and we want to applaud those people who are doing great things. We're just one of many. We do things just a little bit different than the rest, and it's worked for us so far, and we're going to continue our march. 2022 is exciting. On January 12th, I want to just remind everybody, Norman Chad and Lon McCarran will be here playing with Skull Mike and I in a tag team match. 2 of us will be in the bunker, 2 of us on the felt, along with 7 other tag team opponents. That's January 12th. Norman Chad, Lon McCarran coming to the Lodge Mahal. We'll continue through 2022 to bring you all the people. This year we had so many vloggers and so many famous people. Mike Matisow, Chance Corniff, Johnny Vibes, Rampage, Mariano, Jeff Boski, Ryan DePaulo, the Next Gen, all the the Poker Beast, Adam Rude, Wolf King Poker, so many folks we brought to the Lodge Mahal, and we'll continue to do that. It's Lynn was here. She was here, and Poker Face Ash. Star Valdez, so many great people have come through in 2021, and we'll continue to do that. As we want to bring you the best. We know you want to see all the people who are making news in the poker world, and we're going to continue to do that.
Got Quinn rocking the Rockets here. This is the first pair of pocket aces we've seen tonight. Let's see how this plays out. Unfortunately, Charles has pocket eights. I think in his mind right now, the only thing that's beating him is any random jack, although he does know that is well within Quinn's range, regardless of pre-flop action. So very curious to see what Quinn does here. Is it a re-raise or a flat? And it looks like he's opting for a re-raise.
Yeah, Nick from Humor. Slops and Lamborenzo, they're local guys, and we can get them anytime. So many people have made our stream so. White Claw Warrior, Naked James, just legends.
Once again, Charles put to a very tough decision here. Played those eights exactly as one probably should. Want to force everybody else out of the hand and find out really quickly if anybody has got you beat, but always hard to put your opponent on rockets. And Charles likely thinks he can upgrade here even if Quinn does have the jack. Let's see if he can figure it out.
Depends on what they've done in the past, and routine is very important. Oh, absolutely, right? How fold you show?
And
I fold you show. That's the question Charles likes to ask. He shows the aces, and Charles says, good lay down, pat yourself on the back.
Yep. Still sick, though. Quinn just picking up hands all night. I don't think not to disparage Quinn, he's a good personal friend of mine. I'm not sure he's outplayed anybody this evening.
Coming down to maybe the last 30 or 40 minutes of the show. We started a little bit after 2, so we'll go longer than our design cutoff.
We've got the 7 deuce for Alex. Let's see if he remembers. I'm not sure if he was at the table when they declared that the game was being played. So let's see. Decides to call nonetheless. Curious to see how this develops. Zach sure to call with 10-9 suited.
Comes a raise.
Hey,
Makes
wow.
it 50 for Zach. 9-10 suited. Hasn't raised too much tonight. Even with his good hands,
Nope.
he's kind of just been calling.
Content to play disguised for sure.
Corey comes along. Skull Mike. Can't make anything work. King 3 of diamonds. Hey, Steve, how are you?
Looks like Alex opts not to play the 7 deuce game. Very tight laydown from him.
Tim Jim says, who is Nick from Yuma? He is on every stream I watch. He's a mystery. He is on every stream you watch. You aren't seeing things, Nick from Yuma.
Yeah, I'd agree with that too.
Queen 5-4, couple diamonds.
Do you have business part? Like, do you typically raise a head honcho for your things? Yeah. 100?
So are you still?
Corey is going to make it 100.
Or do you like ease back?
Very astute of Corey to recognize that he's got the best of it here. Zach missing completely here. And there he goes. Corey picks up a quick one. Not a bad little pot there either. Just over 12 bigs.
I got no clue. A lot. 4,000. Trees are big.
Quinn dipping below the 90% VPIP mark, sadly. Looks like he won't be holding on to that record.
Yeah. But look, 3 players over 70%, and we've got 7 players over 40%, which is an incredible game. That would be a highly successful game in my eyes. A lot of action. Daniel says this is where the chat pros know to go. This is Chatsville, yes. We all have our different ways to define and describe our communities. We say it's Chatsville.
Have you done a land deal?
I don't like conifers on my way.
Always the third member in the bunker is the fine people of Chatsville. Looks like the raise to 50, Skull Mike with ace 5 suited. So Quinn and Skull Mike will go heads up.
This is exactly where Skull Mike wants to be, although...
Trips for Quinn. Will Skull Mike continue his story here?
Dios mío.
Ooh, now diamonds.
Quinn opting to slow play his set. No surprises there.
And trips for Quinn, and now Skull Mike has 5 outs.
Yeah, picking up the flush draw, not amazing for Skull Mike there. He's got very, very thin chance to take this down. If I'm him, probably a flat call here just to peel one off. And it looks like that's exactly what he does. And does not hit it, sadly. But I think Skull Mike will be able to find it in him to get out of this one.
Yeah, Jacob. Yeah, when you and Quinn fight, who wins?
170. No fights happen. Watch Jacob just stands there.
175. Skull Mike has Squadouche.
Sounds like they're besmirching my name at the table.
Oh, he makes the call.
Wow.
Skull Mike, what are you doing, Skull Mike?
Very surprised there. Although, again, this is the thing about playing against players like Quinn. You see them make so many, rail thin calls, and you sometimes get convinced that your ace high is best. And in a lot of scenarios, you're not wrong. But in this particular one, Quinn absolutely crushing that flop, and extracting probably max value from Mike there.
Skull Mike makes the call there. I'm going to have to ask him about the ace high call. He always tells me sometimes ace is good, Rick. Not in that case. Slick Rick Jacob Lively. You ever go by Jake or just Jacob?
My mom's the only person who's allowed to call me Jake, and I think
Really?
she is listening right now. Shout out to my mom.
Shout out, Mom.
You must have a killer hand.
Option, and it's going to be raise it up for 20 more over to Alex. Actually, to Joe. Joe is going to call back to Alex.
Yeah, Mike, I'd like to be posted on get on whatever the list.
So we'll go 3 ways to a flop. Looking for cards now. As we get caught up, Alex, Quinn, and Joe. Flop comes 5-3-8. Skittles. Pair of 5s for Joe.
Yeah, I'll play Saturday night.
Turn is a 6 of spades. So Joe now adds a straight draw to his pair.
Really seems like Quinn just cannot stop picking up hands here. Joe's got it locked up with it. Pair of 5s. Let's see if he realizes that that's the case, though. Not an easy thing to recognize. Looks like Quinn. What's going on?
I want to thank Racer Nerd and Coach Summers for being moderators. I see Coach Summers is here, and Racer Nerd always does fine work. We appreciate all that y'all do, and when Nakia's in the chat, she's another moderator for us, and got a great chat community. Don't need a lot of help, but some nights we do, more than others.
So this aggression frequency statistic, Rick, what does this indicate exactly? How does this differ from VPIP?
VPIP has to do with calling too. Anytime you put money into a pot, voluntary, other than a blind, is counted towards VPIP. Aggression is when you're actually initiating the. As far as what I know of the stat, I believe it counts only the times you're the one raising or initiating a bet.
So if I'm interpreting that correctly, not only is Quinn playing roughly 90% of hands, he is raising 50% of them.
Yes.
Makes him a terror to play against, especially when he's picking up this many hands.
Exactly.
Charles is playing the 7-deuce game, raising to $40 here, 4 bigs. Quinn's going to get in on the action. And heads up against Quinn is a position that you want to be in a lot of the time. Very exploitable player, but at the same time can be quite spooky. Charles picking up the wheel draw here, although Joe does have one of the aces that Charles needs to complete. A 6 will do it too, but Joe, again, has one of those as well. So 2 blockers out to Charles's only real path to victory. And he keeps pushing. He wants to be the first guy to win the 7-deuce game. For anybody at home that's not familiar, I'm not sure what they've set the stakes at, but if you win a hand with 7-deuce, every player is obligated to give you, I think they've probably settled on 2 or 3 big blinds. So everybody calling there, the very last thing Charles wants to see. And 9 is a big tease here. Does nothing for anybody. Does Charles have it in him to fire another barrel? Maybe representing something like ace-deuce. He's got to fire big if he wants to take this thing down. And he does. He does. He finds it. $200 into a pot of $630.
Wow.
Quinn's folding. Let's see if he can get Joe out of the hand. Very exciting.
Open-ended straight draw.
Joe with just ace high here. Oh, and he makes the call. That means Charles is going to have to find it in him to fire a 3rd barrel here. There's no way he's stopping now. But I think a 3rd barrel will get Joe out of the hand. Charles definitely not happy with this position, but let's see. He knows he cannot check here. He cannot possibly win if he checks. I wouldn't be surprised to see Charles go all in. Got 1.6K behind. He knows Joe lost an absolute cooler of a hand earlier. He might be factoring that into his decision making. I think if he can fire a big enough barrel here, asking how much Joe has behind, it looks like he is planning.
I will never live that one down, that I accidentally put Sharon Barth in timeout on accident. Sammy Hold'em, I hope all is well. Just read your post. Sun will always come out tomorrow.
Charles deep in the tank here, and I think, unfortunately for Charles, the longer he thinks about this, the less likely he is to sell him on an all-in here. I don't know if anything less than an all-in will get the job done. You can't fire a value bet here if Joe's calling 2 previous streets. I'm not sure how much I like this from Chuck. Like 250? Did you get the call? He folds. Charles takes it down with the 7-deuce, first of the night. Big congratulations
and I
to Charles.
don't know if they're still playing the 7-deuce. They talked about playing the 7-deuce game of getting 25 from everybody.
It looks like, yep.
Everybody's given an extra $25 to Charles. Good for him.
And that gets Charles not only out of the hole, but I think a decent amount ahead now. Making him one of 3 winners for the night, unless things have changed. Very well played by Mr. Charles Portis there.
So are you at liberty to, you mentioned that Alex was just 22 years old.
Yes.
Are you at liberty to mention any other ages of the folks?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm not 100% sure on Nathan. I think he might be in his late 20s or early 30s. Zach and I are the same age. We're both 27, if I'm not mistaken. Charles is also 22. Again, some of these guys are just young and absolutely crushing it. Quinn himself is 24, and I think we mentioned that he's the head of sales for Shift, but he also is the president of his own company, nodeproviders.ir. They provide critical infrastructure services to other cryptocurrency companies and blockchain solutions, hosting their nodes for them, reliable server uptime, etc. If you are a new crypto solution, new blockchain, you just had your first ICO, something like that, and you need a node or a server to host your coin, Quinn would be the guy to reach out to at nodeproviders.ir.
So basically what you're telling me is at age 27, you are the elder statesman of this clan you've got going together.
Very much so, yes.
Unbelievable.
I'm reminded of it frequently. They call me Old Man Jacob.
It's just amazing. It's just so amazing that there's so much opportunity and so young. It's
these guys aren't just finding opportunity; they're making it. A lot of these guys are creating businesses really out of thin air and doing really remarkable, revolutionary stuff. Wouldn't be surprised to see them making headlines in the near future. Nathan, like I said, maybe in his early 30s, but has carved out quite a niche for himself in the software as a service community. And again, host of a very popular podcast, has a magazine, on top of his very successful company, Founder Path.
Cracker Carl Bumpkin just continues the comments about our stream and for the last hour and a half. I'm sorry if we're not pleasing you, buddy.
No, definitely not. I'd rather go with it.
But thanks for watching for the last 2 hours.
For a Mormon, don't you think? Did you go do figure 18? No. I only made it to like 12.
On to the next hand is Frank. We're coming down to the last 20 minutes of this live stream. We've had a lot of fun. We'll go to maybe 5:15 Central Time, 5:20. It's been a heck of a lot of fun. Frank has been in the box from start to finish.
You see what the original cast?
Charles, we should do a live action Broadway musical play about
Okay. Yeah.
And Mormons.
Looks like a juice was delivered to Zach. That looks actually pretty good. What
I don't know what's
do
going
you
on
think
there.
that is?
Looks like some kind of smoothie. It looks kind of thick.
Yeah?
Yellow color. Oh, let's see.
Maybe
I'm guessing.
banana?
Yeah, banana. I wouldn't be surprised if there was some mango in there.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. Love to see it. Getting those fruits and veggies in.
There you see the cumulative winnings. Quinn, 3,900. Zach, 3,900. Everyone else in the red. The man, the myth, the legend, Skull Mike down 280. Throwing the party tonight is Joe and Alex. Alex down 2,500. Seems to have started the stream at the bottom and trying to claw his way up. Had won several hands in a row. And
No, not that. I just have to slow it down.
Alex sometimes forgetting where he is, and then, of course, inducing an immediate call with Queen 5 suited. Quinn with Ace 10 suited, just picking up. Oh, now Zach. Let's see if Zach, yes, he does elect to raise it up. He is going to play the 7 deuce game. Let's see if he's our second winner tonight. Although Quinn with Ace 10 suited is a dangerous man.
Once I start bleeding, I start drinking.
Alex has got to get out of the way here, but I'll be shocked if he does.
ooh.
And there we go.
There we go. Alex with Queen 5 suited. Ooh, diamonds here would be disaster for Alex.
Yeah, he's
But not many diamonds remaining. Even Zach has a diamond.
dominated in every way by Quinn. Zach is going to have to really navigate this very skillfully. He's got 2 calling
Ooh,
stations.
2 diamonds. Here we go. Open-ended straight draw for Alex with the flush draw.
And Zach, very critically here, does hit a piece of this board, so he does have something. Is, in fact, in the lead right now. Alex also picking up a straight draw here.
It's a $25 bet and a raise to 75. And here's Zach.
Zach's going to come in way over the top. He's got to take this down now. But Alex may get out of the way. Quinn, I just don't think is going anywhere. He's got the nut flush draw, 2 overs to the board. And considering that Charles just won that 7 deuce not too long ago, I'm sure it's fresh on his mind that there's a good possibility Zach's making a play here.
Like seriously cheating? Yeah. No, yeah, like some crazy. Yeah, he was in cahoots
We should cover up that logo.
Sammy, be careful out there. Sammy Hold'em. We're cheering for you. Maybe take a little break, regroup.
Charles making sure to cover the logo on the juice bottle. They are not one of our sponsors, unlike Adam and Eve and Ground.News. Once again, big thanks to both of them for making tonight's stream happen. Hopefully we partner with them on many streams in the future. They're both phenomenal companies. We're very happy to work with them.
There's the 6, so now it's straight for Alex.
Wow.
And he goes all in.
Of course. There's no way Zach can call here, but I would actually be surprised if Quinn walks away from this one. Alex may just be getting the better of old Quinn on this particular hand and getting him a little bit closer to getting out of that hole he's dug himself in. Quinn asking if he has him covered. Zach has just got to get out of the way here. Tragic.
Zach.
Sorry, Johnny Grow lately, if I offended you in any way. I apologize greatly. Please don't make a video about me. Please, please don't make a video about me. I beg you, don't make a video about me.
Hey, any publicity is good publicity, right?
Yeah.
Alex does hold plus 1.5K, a hefty pot. Might in fact be, I don't think that gets him out of the hole, but I think it gets him pretty darn close.
Yeah, it's going to get him at least halfway home.
Yep.
I think he was down
2,500,
and so this will be a good amount. Thank you, sir.
I was just going with, I have to take it easy after I blow out like 4 times. And then I can come back. It was an optimistic. I was leading on the raised all the pot is already down.
The pot is so big, it's 600 to call, 30% chance of
That one's a good one for the stream.
I knew he had the 5.
Quinn saying, I knew he had the 5.
There you go, Alex. When you lose every hand for the first 2 hours, then you manage to scoop a couple pots, it's always good.
Absolutely.
There's a smile on his face that this is the reason why I like this game of poker.
I got to say there are very few feelings more satisfying. Obviously, it feels nice to start off a session strong, get a chip lead, and start pushing people around a little bit. But at the same time, there are a few things more satisfying than finding yourself in a deficit very early in a poker session and digging yourself out of there and finding yourself with a profit. I know I've gone from down 90 bigs to up 200 bigs in a given session. So very, very satisfying indeed. Let's see if Alex can make it happen tonight.
Nick from Yuma says, Alex, when you're ready to get out of tech and into politics, hit me up. Interesting.
Alex is in fact from Salt Lake City, so could be the next Mitt Romney if that's what you're trying to make.
There you go. Salt Lake City. I've been to Salt Lake City a few times in the airport, but that's it. Never got out of the plane.
It's a great airport. It's a great town.
Yes.
Lived there for just shy of 5 years myself. One of my favorite places that I've ever lived. I'd go back there in a heartbeat, although not to say I've not loved the Texas experience so far.
Ace, King 10, couple of hearts.
Skull Mike here with the plinker to Broadway. Same deal for Alex. Both of them need a queen. Otherwise, Quinn quite far ahead on this hand.
Well, he has the 27. He hasn't sold it. Mind it.
That being said, if we do see the queen, it'll be a very interesting development because I think what will end up happening is Skull Mike and Alex will obviously chop the pot, but I think Quinn will barrel into it regardless. So they'll really just be splitting up Quinn's money if he doesn't take this down himself.
Derek, the stream will go on for another 15 minutes or so. We did this Sunday afternoon stream. And we'll be back tomorrow night with another stream. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night, Saturday night. And Saturday night, the night before Halloween, 2550. And the Skull Mike has told me that the table is full of action players. So put that one on your calendar. Ace of Diamonds on the turn. Now trips for Quinn.
Yep, there's no way. Surprised to see Skull Mike fire here. Absolutely no chance that Quinn's going anywhere. Alex will likely fold here. If Quinn makes the flat call, Skull Mike is still alive to a queen, but if Quinn re-raises here, I think Mike is just going to have to get out of the way. Being said, still 4 queens in play.
I raised to 300. Can I do that now, or should I just call? I realize that I could.
Quinn putting in what looks to be an attempt to call and then announcing a re-raise. Let's see what Frank decides here. Could be recognizing this as an angle shoot, but it's not. Quinn made an honest mistake. But Frank doing the right thing here and holding him to just the call, which means Mike does indeed get to peel one off and unfortunately misses the queen. Quinn will be taking this one down.
Skull Mike is zigging tonight when he should be zagging, try to make something happen, and it's just not happening for the sculled one, and he'll lay it down, and Quinn is going to pick up a nice pot.
Yet again, he's just been crushing them all night.
I want to also mention the Spring Mayhem. We've been announced that. Just got off of Millionaire Mayhem. So successful. Every tournament within the series went way over the guarantee. The main event, we guaranteed $1.25 million. It went $1.77 million. The first event, the $500,000 guarantee with Poker Atlas, went $990,000 in that guarantee. So we did it so well, we're going to do it again February 22nd through March 6th. Put it on your calendar, folks. Get down to the Lodge Mahal in Round Rock, Texas. Before then, our tournament in November, the I-35 Cup, a joint production between Rounders in San Antonio and the Lodge Mahal. $500K guarantee. It's a $500 buy-in during Thanksgiving week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We won't play poker on Thursday. Spend that time with the family. Eat some turkey.
Did I hear that correctly? That's a $500 buy-in and a $500K guarantee?
Yes, sir.
The classic 100X?
Yes.
I may have to participate in that one.
You're welcome.
I'm fond of those odds.
Come on over.
Quinn here with the diamond draw. Joe with pocket fives. Corey with pocket sevens. And a whole lot of nothing going on for anybody other than Alex, who has top pair. Won't be going anywhere with that. Both players with the pocket pairs making the fold to 2 overs, and Alex just takes this one down. Another $50 in the pocket, another $50 towards digging himself out of that 3K hole.
There's your VPIP. 84% for Quinn. Alex, 73%. Zach, 28%, but winning a lot of money tonight is Zach with a 28% VPIP.
So how much? So if I get 30%, gives the U.S. one at a 47 PE. That's after 7. That's the current numbers actually a discount of about $40.
Joe and is talking a little business with Nathan. That's what happens at the poker table. You mentioned it earlier that poker is kind of like the new golf course where a lot of businesses gets done. Nine, 10, 4. Pair of nines for Quinn. Quinn makes it 50.
Quinn just hitting the best hand time after time, it seems.
Nathan lays down the flush draw.
Really getting rewarded for that insane VPIP stat. I guess I'd play as many hands I play as many hands as he has if I keep hitting him. Just taking a small one down this time, though. 60 bucks.
Look at me with my hand. I was doing like one of those.
Derek Meyer says, I want to start a small shop. Where's all the investors? Hey, never know who's wants to invest in you.
Got plenty of investors at our games. You just got to lose a bunch of money to them first.
So we got a $20 straddle. Zach putting the $20 straddle on.
So how's that? I mean, I'm curious. Like, I didn't know stuff did not take off very well legally. Hanging out with Isaac in Vegas.
Over to Corey.
And another 7 deuce for Corey.
Oh, they are playing the 7 deuce game.
He does not want to get frisky, though. Not everybody has the heart. Can't blame him.
Ace 6 offsuit. Skull Mike.
See if Skull Mike can pop one hand. Charles with ace jack suited. That's one of the first premiums we've seen him pick up tonight. Although he has navigated many hands fairly skillfully.
Skull Mike's makes it 50. Here we go, folks.
All right. Got some action.
Zach calls. Zach's in a hand with deuce 3.
All right, ace jack coming out quite far ahead right now.
He's very convinced that
Charles way ahead with his jack.
Corey may be kicking himself for folding that 7 deuce, but he would still be a ways behind at the moment.
I don't know if that's his real name. That's how he likes to work.
Zach with no reason to stay in this hand. Lets it go right away. And Mike sadly hitting top pair here. He's only got 2 outs.
8 of clubs. Now Skull Mike dead to the 6 of diamonds or 6 of spades. Tony V with a great comment. Texas has the hottest women. Have to agree with that, Tony V. Sharon Barth with wishing Derek, as we all do, success. Nothing better than a person in Chatsville
Charles with
achieving their dreams.
Nice little $60 value bet, and I think that is going to induce a call from Mr. Skull Mike. As much as I'd like to see him win, I don't think he's taking this one down.
Needs a 6. Nope. Oh, but the ace is going to, Skull is going to have to think he's good here.
Now the question is, does he realize that Charles has another ace? The last ace in the deck, in fact.
It is a club, though, for Charles. So Charles is saying, I'm losing.
Could be spooky here.
A flush, but he's going to make a bet here.
Yeah, I don't think Charles is thinking about that too much, considering only one club on the flop. And if I recall correctly, you made a fairly substantial bet on the flop.
Skull Mike is not going anywhere. He's just thinking about raising or just calling. He's not folding.
Yeah, he's going to be, if he does make the raise here, he's going to be not too pleased, because I don't think Charles is getting away from
He just
this.
calls.
Good.
And he's going to lose with the jack.
Good call.
Skull Mike.
Lost the minimum there.
He did.
Could have opted to fold, but I think it's very difficult to find a fold in that scenario. Especially considering your opponent has the last ace in the deck.
Absolutely.
Like an infrastructure problem, right? What you say? I mean, I'd love to have that, right?
Give you an idea in Berlin, another problem with doing it in Michigan. So if I win a small, big.
And you may not be able to see it from here, but that Rolex on Alex's wrist is sadly broken. He left the dial open while we were in Puerto Rico.
What?
And yeah, a little bit of moisture got in, so I don't know if he's already taken it to the watchmaker, but you are looking at a
broken Rolex.
Sadly broken Rolex.
Let's see what time it says. I can't see on there. My eyes aren't good, but at least his Rolex is right twice a day.
Yes. A broken Rolex is right twice a
So
day.
he left the dial, the screw, the bezel, the winder.
Yep.
What do you call that thing?
I just call it the dial. But I'm sure that's not the correct I don't know watchmaker nomenclature, so tragic, truly tragic. Quinn picking up pocket deuces. Nobody else with anything too crazy here. Zach Quinn raising to 85 with pocket deuces. I don't know how many people are going to take that raise seriously. Curious to see if Charles comes along here. Alex, again, is going to have to fold, but somehow doubt that he will.
It's the parking moguls, the tycoons of the parking garages.
It looks like Alex accidentally put in calling chips without realizing that a raise had been placed, and Frank holding him to it, again, making the right call. A little bit of a bummer for Alex, though.
Up comes deuce 3 king.
Looks like everybody just wants to check around here. Nobody really representing anything. Zach going to apply some pressure with 6 high. This time Alex will get out of the way. Let's see if Quinn figures out what's going on.
Quinn is extremely sticky with his pocket deuces.
It's hard to get him to fold.
There's the 4, so.
Yeah, and Quinn will be taking this one down as long as he can commit. Zach checking, Quinn checking back, and yeah. Zach sighing, knowing that bet would have taken anybody else on the table out of that hand, but Quinn
is sticky.
He's a tough guy to get rid of.
Zach knew he didn't have anything.
Yep. Zach always knows, and there's a lot of history between these two players. I have seen thousands of dollars in a given night exchanged between their hands. I'm not sure who has the winning record right now, but it's always entertaining to see the sparks fly between those two.
Skull Mike down now 940, Nathan 970, Alex 1100, Corey 1200, and Joe is down 2900. So Alex, who started the night off way in the bottom, has creeped his way up. Wins another big pot here. He could get into the green, Jacob.
I think we can see it. I would love to see it happen. That would be a real Cinderella story. I'm not sure if that's the right. Ooh, Charles forgetting to cover up that label. We're going to have to announce another sponsor in just a moment. I think you can see the Gentleman Jack there in the background. Sadly, we are not yet sponsored by Jack Daniels. I think that's one we'd love to have under the belt.
That would be. We need we would love an alcohol. We did talk with the people at White Claw because we had a player that went through about a dozen or 20 White Claws every stream. And we call him the White Claw Warrior. And I had a good conversation with the fine folks at White Claw and the distribution company that distributes that here in town, but could not close the deal. They couldn't understand that White Claw was all around.
You already have the branding there. It's built in.
The White Claw Warrior.
Imagine the host endorsements.
Oh, I mean,
just getting slobber knockered on White Claw in the booth.
It's that would be something special. Queen 9 deuce, couple of clubs. Joe continues his story. 200. Let's see if Quinn. How sticky is Quinn here?
With Jack 6 suited, I think.
There you go.
He's finally found a hand he can. And not a small pot going Joe's way. I'm sure Joe is happy every time he's taking money from Quinn after that brutal straight over trips scenario we saw earlier in the stream. And a generous tipper, Joe, throwing $10 towards the dealer, unless he's just posting blind for the next hand.
We got a lot of good tippers in the lodge. We appreciate everybody who does that for the dealers. They are working hard. A good dealer keeps the game moving, gets you plenty of time, especially when you're playing by the hour and paying by the hour.
Absolutely.
You want as many hands as possible, get your money's worth.
Cannot understate the value of a good dealer, especially in a game like this. We've got so much action going on. every hand represents potentially, thousands of dollars going into somebody's pocket. So the more hands you get to play, the more action you get to see. It's great for the players. It's great for the viewers, and it's all thanks to our man Frank here on the floor.
Yeah, he's a good one. He's one of many. We've got tons of great ones. So on to the next hand. Zach will look down at ace-10 offsuit, and he's going to raise it on up here. Zach's starting to put some heat on. He was doing a lot of calling the first part of the stream. Now he's doing a lot of betting this last coming down the stretch.
And this is definitely something we talked about earlier on the stream. Zach is the type of player to be very observant. Look at how everybody's playing at the table before he makes any big decisions. And once he's got a read on everybody, once he kind of figures out what's going on, especially with players that he's unfamiliar with, he is more than happy to really get in there, get his hands dirty.
Ace deuce 4, a couple of hearts. Pair of 4s for Alex, pair of aces for Zach. Here's a bet from Alex with
What's your bet?
a pair of 4s. Quinn calls with Jack 10. Zach raises to 100 with a pair of aces. Alex calls, and so does Quinn. There's a 10 ball. So now Quinn picks up a pair, but Zach hits his 2 pair, 97% to win. Quinn has 0 chance to win. And 3% for Alex. He's looking for a 4. So Zach is in amazing position with this hand. Here comes the raise. 150, a min raise. Over to Alex, just with a pair of 4s. And he's reaching for chips. He calls, as does Quinn. So Alex looking for a 4, and a 4 only.
Boy, step away from
Oh, that was close. I thought it was a 4. Zach just putting money into the pot, and both players calling with just...
I don't know what the odds are, Quinn says. Well, I can tell you right now, Quinn, the odds are not good, and they're not in your favor.
Over to Alex. He's got a pair of 4s. There is 4 to a straight draw out there. Any 3 ball. Bear with us here.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah, it'll come back. There we go. Yeah, any 3 ball here is a straight. $200 is the bet from Zach. A nice little teaser bet. Getting 6 to 1. To call with a pair of 4s. There you go. Good fold. Now with a pair of 10s for Quinn, who was out of this hand 2 cards ago. Calls. Shows the 2 pair.
Quinn happy to give the money away.
I want to thank all the 204 people in the live chat today. We realize there's a lot going on a Sunday afternoon. Hopefully you had some fun today with us on our Poker Unicorns broadcast coming down to the end. And also want to thank you if you're watching this on delay in the archives. Looks like that would be the end of it. And Jacob, your thoughts on the stream and how you enjoyed your time here at the lodge.
I had a wonderful time. I can't wait to come back. This has been an absolute pleasure. You guys have a wonderful stream, beautiful, visually stunning, the table, the chips. the camera quality, audio. I mean, you guys do a fantastic job in the booth. I had a wonderful time riffing with you and Mike.
Yes, it's been a pleasure. Now you can get our clips up on your website now. And,
exactly, yeah.
There you see the cumulative wins. We want to congratulate Zach, 4,100, Quinn, 2,900, and Charles. Everybody else had a great time. For the Wizard of Lodge, my name is Slick Rick, and for Skull Mike, who's on the felt, we'll see you in exactly 26 hours on Poker Night at the Lodge.
Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Have a great night.
Next time you're going to be the button.
We of course don't really play feel like it.
Hold them
It's just one game.
Okay. Double board, double board.
And also, you're way weaker than you think you are. You're just starting.